But do you see Azad, Top Gun, he brought out his little one? I mean, the dude was a legend. I remember back in the day, we got to see him. He was nuts. He was a nutty gamer. Then he's done that life thing instead, which I respect.
Yeah, there's something about growing up and, you know, you got a family, you got a kid, you got to look out for yourself, look out for others. It's a lot of responsibility.
The gang is back together again. Was it 2014?
Yep. The boys are back in town, I believe it is fair to say. Look at these guys. Let's get a round of applause for Team Australia. Oh, I love it.
They never got to play in front of a crowd this big, especially not an Australian one.
Yeah.
So we're going to give them just a taste of what they missed out on.
Like I said, Chad's been prepping his whole life for this moment. This really is a time for redemption for him, for anything that he's ever failed at in life.
Yeah, I mean, Chad, he likes to tell other people how to play Counter-Strike. Let's see if he can still do it himself. You know, he does get a bit sassy with some of these pros.
Yeah, I mean, the weirdest part is these guys have actually been going over strats. They booked scrims yesterday. I think they tried to play against SK. They just kind of laughed them off. But other than that, it's rightfully so. That's what I would do if I was SK. Yeah,
I mean, Havoc and Top Gun have been picking up the mouse and keyboard a little bit as of late, but you've still got the Hot Renegades who absolutely had their hearts both filled and broken in one day in the stadium.
Yeah. Well, this place came alive for them, and they put on a hell of a show regardless. JKS, Mr. Justin Savage, is an absolute monster.
And on the other side of that stage, God,
the other guys.
The other people. And I'm wearing a bloody UK jersey. What am I doing?
The hand warmers. You can see Yanko right there, not really feeling as confident. I think he hit the gym this morning, but ultimately, I don't know. I can see a little bit of nervous sweat in his brow.
So you got Harry, Ethan, Henry, Yanko, and Jason.
Jason. See, now, if I have to look at this in the big picture, I'm thinking Jason might be the weak link here.
No, dude, Jason's nuts.
Nah, I don't know, man.
He's carried me many a day from his US ping, 120 ping.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that help him or hurt him? Let's be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm more of just an anchor dragging him down to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, my goodness. I think the hype surrounding this has been palpable.
Did you see Henry throwing the T in Chad's face? That is world-class acting, honestly. Yeah. Did you see the top comment? It was like, Chad could have a career in porn after this.
Yeah. It's plot lines. We watch it for the plot lines.
Absolutely, so watch it for the plot.
Oh, my goodness. Now, there's a name I didn't think would come about here. James Bardoff, a player that is somehow better than all of Team UK.
So this is why I'm glad I'm not on that stage, because I would hate to be put in the the nickname that James Bardoff has is either yet to frag or Bot Bardoff.
Wow.
That's the risk you take when you step on that stage.
Unreal. I can't even, honestly, look at him, man. Just look.
I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to hydrate before this one.
They're ready. And I'm pretty sure the atmosphere doesn't get any more electric than it is. It does feel good to see these guys back on the stage together, though.
I don't know. I feel like the Aussie crowd needs to come up with something new. Like, they've got two things. It's like Aussie, 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 and then they have, what else? Henry's a wanker. I mean, it's not much innovation.
I got a new one. Machine is a wanker.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really count. It doesn't count.
Did it morph into Henry?
I don't even know.
My goodness. Honestly, of all the crowds we've been at, of all the events we've been at, this place is electrifying. These guys are out here just throwing down one.
Right. So I think the way I would describe it is, like, in every esports crowd, I meet a couple of fans who are just so into it that they will be that. They'll be that kind of.
They'll stand out.
They'll stand out. But I feel like Australia just has, instead of 15 of them at the front of the stage, you have 7,000 of them.
It's literally all of them.
Absolutely everyone. All right, Team UK and Team Australia. One for the road. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Woo! Here we go.
A little bit of knife round action. Let's see who can get sliced up first. Havoc waiting in the back lines there. Oh, God, it's already a rough start here for the
massacre. UK. Harry! Wait, Harry got 3. Wait, what? So they get the choice of sides, I think, here.
Yeah. That's generally how the knife round works.
Yeah, but I didn't see who won it. I was distracted.
What? That is a fantastic mustache. I'm just going to have to say that right there.
Dude, Havoc has got facial hair for days.
He's got the facial hair.
All right, here we go.
Anybody ready for some Dust 2? Because I think it's been hyped up this entire time.
Right.
And now is absolutely no different. Kudos, Bank Arena. Let's get this mother trucker going. Hey, you like that?
In the blue corner, Australia. In the off yellow, It's going to be Team UK.
Oh, yellow.
That's how you hype things up. Hazard's going to draw first blood. Ethan's head is rolling.
Didn't see that one coming to Ethan.
Okay, JKS. Oh, dearie me! JKS!
Eat him alive.
It's a humiliation! Round one, go home!
It's just embarrassing at this point. You might as well just go ahead and maybe rethink the entire strategy. Look at this.
Oh.
There's a little bit of confrontation on stage. Harry
doesn't do confrontation. What's happening?
No, Henry's not having it. Henry is upset. Yanko is really giving a piece of his mind. Oh my God.
It's round one. Calm down.
What's up, bitch?
What's up, bitch?
Oh my! They did not see this coming. They did not want this.
Criminal!
Jackie freaking Yip, everyone. Stewie 2K.
Woo!
And
I think this is a sub. They're taking a sub situation here.
And Harry's out. See you later, dude.
See you later, alligator.
Maybe next year, Harry. Stewie 2K has entered the arena, and that certainly does not bode well for the Australians.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Prime, absolutely not British beef. That's what I like to see.
They had to bring in 2 Americans. That'll never get old. That will never, ever get old.
Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Now we've got a fighting chance. They've got all their sweaty strats, whatever you say. We've got Stewie 2K.
Stewie 2K.
He was born in the pug.
He was. He was born through the smokes. I helped raise him from a young budding flower into what he is now. And
what is he now?
He is a major champion. That's right. That is exactly what he is.
All right.
You know, I would ask how many majors UK has won, but I don't know that they've even qualified for one. Ooh, what now, Alex?
Yeah, so I muted my mic in complete and total flabbergast. Oh my God.
It's not even fair. JKS finding 3 headshots there, making quick work of the nerds of Team UK.
Okay. It's all right. We Gucci. Yanko's a beast with the... it was Eco Bash. He's Eco Cobra. That's just padding the stats at this point.
It's all for the highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why you get the Eco frags. Chad is feeling it. He's smiling. He knows he's got a winner in JKS, even if he can't do anything himself. He's got JKS. He's got Azure.
Bro, I want to see Havoc and that little spicy scout. Oof. That's good. They're going for the double eco. It's all good. This is what I can guarantee with Henry. He's going to be playing proper keen Counter-Strike. As much as he's doing all this entertainment, he is all about the money management. They're all just going to get their toes torched.
Oh, Chad, that was not looking pretty bad.
Henry onto Chad. We're going to be seeing a lot of that, I reckon.
Yeah, on and off the screen, of course. Havoc trying to find one himself.
Henry.
Oh, this is not looking great for the Australians right away. 2v2. Look how low they are, though.
Yeah, they're screwed. I swear, if JKS gets more, he's going to have 9 frags in 3 rounds. Oh no, he's gonna dunk him. Ethan, safe hand! Oh!
This is lovely.
Oh my God, Jason's got another one.
Wow, Jason hit the shot, change of pace. Nobody expected that.
It's been a while since we saw this man hit a frag, even never mind step into a server, and he's gonna get both!
Gun for the top gun, and just like that, we're going to be looking at some guns here shortly.
Yeah, okay, fine. Now, you know, all that nonsense is out of the way. Team UK are going to step in. No worries, no worries.
None whatsoever. You know, Chad's looking real confident.
I want to know who is going to be on the Daddy AWP, right? So Yanko and Henry are both little sweaty AWPers.
A little slow, too.
You got Stewie 2K on your team. And we are just going to start off with the 5 rifles.
You know, if they lose, there's really just no coming back if they lose this one.
Oh, no. They have to make it close. It was an embarrassment last year.
Well, we do see just a bunch of weapons out here coming on both sides.
Okay, Stewie's drawn first blood. Stewie just going to charge up long. This is going to be the Stewie show. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, it's already begun. Young Stu 2K, the smoke criminal himself.
Azza, going to get tested, gets himself a double.
Oh, boy.
We find ourselves back to a 2v2.
Oh, that angle is...
I haven't even seen like too many examples of this situation with the new car actually makes a difference.
It's just, I think I saw the comparison on Reddit where it was about the size of the car versus the man.
When we're like all like little manlets.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. The retake from the Aussies. JKS and Top Gun could not be any more different looking human beings. And now Top Gun's out of the equation.
Oh boy, JKS left in a 1 versus 2. Ethan and Moses here to defend this planted bomb in the A site. JKS trying to find the frag here on Ethan, can't do it. And just like that, unfortunately, Team UK has found a round. It's okay to boo him. You can boo Moses. I encourage it.
He's used to it. He gets it every night in the bedroom.
16-1. Is that in the cards, though?
Dude, that was absolutely fantastic, just listening to the crowd. I mean, I can't imagine anything more intimidating than every time you win a round just hearing the number change.
Yeah. Oh, man. YNK, Korshenko, still yet to get on the board. We should probably go ahead and highlight that. That's rather important.
Oh, Jason's in trouble. Or is he? Just the one for him. JKS, I'm not surprised, gets his 8th, and oh, dearie me.
It's really an atrocious
Don't you
play.
lose this one. Team UK, if you get reset, I'm going to be a grumpy goat. Bomb's going down, safe hands from Ethan. Oh, Henry's caught with a nade in his hands, the Muppet.
Oh, man.
Can always count on Ethan, though, boys. I'm going to be honest, Trace. I called him Nata for the longest time.
You know what? I think that's a common thing. I think it happens a lot.
Thinks he's funny, thinks he's edgy.
The good old spell your alias backwards. 2v2, Top Gun and Havoc. Can they retake the bomb site? That is the question. And, well, Havoc's not going to have anything to do with it. And neither is Top Gun.
See you later.
Stu's in the server now. He has gotten his mouse hand warmed up.
16.
Oh, my.
What is that?
How on earth is that?
Oh, wait, I'm going to need to try and take it all in. So we've got some sort of horn-like structure.
I don't know what to call that.
I think he looked like he was cosplaying as a bacteria.
Yeah, it was a plankton.
Yeah, he was a plankton.
Oh!
Dewey 2K with the 1.
That's not how you want to start the round if you're Team Australia. Not at all.
Well, this, they have no right to do anything here. Fortunately, Team UK knows how to throw a flashbang. That's the Badger. It is so surreal to see these names all in the server at the same time again. Azza, JKS, Top Gun, Havoc, and Sponge. I remember meeting these boys in Katowice and thinking I could... so I learned the phrase, I shot you a shot, you shot me a shot.
Okay.
So this was something that Top Gun taught me. Havoc's just playing some footy.
Just a little quick, small-sided game there towards the T-spawn. Of course, an eco round. Don't lose faith, Australia. Don't do it.
Okay, Chad's going to be calling, okay, page 6, subsection B, strategy
goodness.
Y.
I'm just still, you know, I'm peering over here into the stat lines, and it's just pretty apparent. Yanko's not having a good time. He's not
the only one without a frag? Yanko yet to frag Paunovic. He's going to take the nickname if he's not careful.
Oh my. Stu GK with the AWP. Probably going to open some doorways here for the UK team. That doesn't change the fact that Henry's still a wanker.
Let's have a look. It really doesn't sound good with an American accent, Trace, I'm going to be honest.
Wanker. Is that better?
Wanker.
Wanker.
Peaky Blinders.
By the order of the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
You like that?
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot.
I do a really good American as well.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude.
For sure.
Absolutely, here we go. JKS gets the 1.
You see, I can do it like a whiny American cast. Nice, Ethan. Keeping things competitive now, 3 versus 2. That bomb is on its way to B. Stewie's got his Nikes on. Couldn't have got that far that fast in thong.
Stewie and Ethan seemingly playing FPL and styling.
They haven't really quite worked this one out. Ethan, Hollywood actor right now. He sold the fake. Oof. And now Azza is going to go and try and find his 3rd.
Just a little bit of jump
He's
spot.
worked it
here.
out.
One-on-one. Azzer and Stewie Duque.
Oh.
Stu is just going to go ahead and spray the salt on the ground. Another round here for Team UK. Unfortunately, I can't think of one person in this entire Kudos arena that wants good for Team UK.
I mean, I am. I'm wearing the shirt at least. That's something. That's some degree of support.
You've done something.
Yeah.
Hey, the King of Australia is back in attendance today. Welcome back, Danny.
Royalty.
Royalty.
The Aussies down to a scrappy bye.
Yeah, this is turning into a little bit of a slugfest here, huh?
I'm just glad it's closer. Loving it.
It's not the best Counter-Strike we've ever seen.
What are you talking about?
It's not wide. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's actually really bad. Here we go. Yanko's going to try for the frag and instead gets a mouthful of USP bullets.
A mouthful. No stranger there.
He's going to kill you.
Probably.
Ethan. We'll get the first, and this is just going to be a nice and easy stroll in the park for Team UK. Number 5, where are Australia at?
You know, at this point, if you're Yanko, you should probably just consider being the fiscally responsible one and dropping weapons for your teammates.
Take a look at Henry's face.
He is serious.
You don't realize how hard he tries in these show matches. Look at that face.
Stone cold.
Look at it.
Oh, we got a boost.
They're boosting!
That's the nerdiest thing I've seen all day, Alex. Can you believe it?
There's Henry getting a double kill. He's against an eco, and I haven't seen him blink yet. There we go. Another for Henry, and it will be 5-3. We get the Aussies back on a weapon round now.
Speaking of Aussies, I don't know. I think they need a little bit of support up here. Guys, it's not exactly going in the right direction for Team Australia right now. They can use all the help they can get.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Nice. Whose team are you on there?
Thank you. I'm not really sure. I mean, I would try and get like a UK one going, but I don't really think we have anything.
Nope. I can't say that you
All right, Top Gun on the AWP. Not known to be an AWPer.
But today is a day of WTFs.
Oh, Stewie, he is. You know, I quite like this substitute. I feel like this was a nice late addition. Ethan, beheading Havoc. This is a massacre. Oh, what if Top Gun has something to say about it? Henry and Stu, 2 of the hard hitters taken out of the equation. Moses, however, being a sweaty nerd all the way on the beat.
That's right. Forehead glistening. You could tell he's really feeling himself out there. Look at that, man. That forehead is shining, ladies and gentlemen.
He polishes it every morning.
Yes, he does. They have to put special makeup across his entire head. I've seen it.
Yeah, he brings his own.
It's ridiculous. It's a lot of surface area to cover, you know? Havoc recently had tests confirm he, in fact, shares DNA with Chuck Norris.
It is a rather magnificent beard. How's your facial hair, Trace? How's the game?
It's a little spotty. It's kind of like Joe Dirt. But
okay, I was going to leave it there.
Yes, indeed.
It's almost as good as Henry's little chin strap.
Yeah, he tries to keep it tidy, but ultimately it's dismal at best. A timeout.
Oh my God, they've called the timeout. Who did this? Who's the candidate?
It's Sponge sitting in the middle. I haven't seen him smile like that in quite a while.
He's having a blast.
He is. He's no stranger to rejection. We know that. No matter how many times he swipes right, they swipe left.
I heard he's been having a good time as of late.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Success rates are high.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins the caches, I'm sure he'll be doing much better. Henry's going to make the call. He sees one cross. This looks like it's going to be a bit of a quick one coming out from Team UK. Charging up, it'll be Ethan. He's already met his demise. JKS and Havoc filling up the kill feed. Moses is low, and JKS, he's hungry. And he gets a bite to eat. They're all going down, just down to Yanko, and Spun deletes him.
Yanko didn't even leave Spawn. What are you doing, Yanko? You see Gomez back there. Been a solid part of this.
Yeah, what's he going to say?
All right, guys, listen. Oh, here we go. Nice. Jason coming in with the big bucks here. You can see.
Couldn't quite make the 1-3-3-7. Close.
Yep. Maybe for another time.
How much prize money have you got in the bank, Trace?
Not important.
I've got £63.
That's pretty
PvP
good.
From an esports third place finish.
Was that cash or PayPal?
I don't think I ever actually got the money. I just held the big check.
It sounds good. I tell all my friends.
Yeah. All right. Nice return. We've already lost Chad. He's just going to be sitting there and shouting, as he usually does.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. This is a standard little default. You can see the T's all spread out. Let's have a look how this one plays out. Azza.
Ever so patiently waiting here at the wooden doors.
I do see that bomb starting to orientate its way towards A. Who's in wait? You know who it is. It's the Savage himself.
Justin Savage trying to hold down this A site. Going to be quite a bit of pressure put on him from long. 3 members of Team UK. The grenades are out.
Yanko!
Finds a kill. Oh my goodness, I didn't think I'd see the day.
Asa is going to be the last man standing, and he is in a real tight spot. He's going to potentially be pushing through that smoke with the AWP. What's he doing, the Maverick? He's going to be getting away the first time. What is he doing? He's not. This is not Call of Duty, Asa. Top Gun and Havoc, wrong place, and indeed, wrong time. 1v3 for him. The bomb's already down, and he is dead in a matter of seconds. I'll count to 3. 1, 2. Oh, I should shut up.
Get you one more. Oh, don't burn yourself alive. There's fire there. All kind of movement going on here. I don't think he knows what he's doing. We definitely don't know what he's doing.
He's juggling.
But the man's got the moves. And, all right. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Just because you're wearing the shirt.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I'll let it live.
Live and let live, they say. Havoc gonna save the back of the B site. And that does not detract the fact that Henry is a wanker.
He's actually, if this sticks around, he's going to be really upset.
It's great. I already started a hashtag. That's right. Get on your favorite social medias.
Get off.
Henry.
You're not working right now. Get out of host mode.
This is working.
Yeah, be sure to check out the ESL shop. Okay. Let's have a little look. What all they have is an unarmored JKS with an M4. Okay.
We've already seen an improvement here. Yank falling. Does find his first frag. Moses going to chime in as well. It doesn't appear that they're as useless this round as they've been the entire game.
I'm actually sincerely worried for the... Oh, hang on a second. Sponge gets 2.
It's just near to smell like hot dogs.
It does smell great. It really does.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Australia, they had nothing in this round, and they've managed to get themselves in. I mean, it's not ideal. The bomb is on its way towards A, but at least they've managed to make things competitive. Both have got rifles. Neither have got armor, though. And they have actually got the 2 capable players up against them. Stewie.
One.
Oh, you minx. He's going to take both.
That
Cheeky
was pretty dirty Counter-Strike all around. Nothing good about it. Okay.
That's a new one. I like this one.
Nice.
I said they had to innovate.
The king is here with us.
They're trying to drive the Kangaroo gang. There you go. That's the start. First blood drawn, Stewie. It's a big scalp to take.
Had to do it to him, you know, because with that Stewie still in the round, there's a chance it doesn't go well.
Top Gun. Ooh, nearly got another knot. See, look, I did it. Ethan, with his annoying nickname, down to 37.
Seconds. They've got the rifles. They have no utility. Their options.
Hard, because a best of 5 is a marathon, and Faze, they are going to struggle to even get off the starting mark.
Definitely, and listen, Faze has had their fair share of best of 5s, you know, over the last 6 months or a year or so, so they definitely know how the momentum can swing in a final. They know that it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So hopefully they will also know that if they get off to a bad start, even though it's their own pick, they need to consolidate themselves, they need to keep grinding, keep trying, because Astralis is not going to let up.
Astralis have been relentless, Chad, and I want to understand exactly your expectations. You know the maps now. You've already made it clear Astralis should be winning this unless Faze do something different, but I just want to understand how much resistance you think is going to go down now you know the order of those maps.
We really just have to take in present form, right? I can sit here and I can say that these guys are amazing players and, you know, carry good calls and all this kind of... But the thing is, the current form and what we've seen throughout the tournament, Faze have looked sloppy. They haven't looked a better version of themselves. Astralis, on the other hand, ever since DreamHack Masters Marseille, they've looked absolutely phenomenal. I'm expecting them to take this and show Faze right now that this is their era, this is their chance to take the Intel Grand Slam. It's going to be a 3-0 stomping, Alex.
Oh my goodness, yes, Faze will be stepping up to that plate. Yanko, your final thoughts, is it similar to that of Chad's that we do have the impending Astralis era upon us, and winning this would be a step in that direction?
Unfortunately, it is, Alex. I want it for the crowd, I want it for everyone watching, really for Faze to step step up and for us to have a competitive grand final here. I'm going to be a bit more optimistic than Chad. I'm going to give FaZe one map. I think they're going to click on one map, potentially even the first one, but I think Astralis is just too good at the moment, 3-1 for them.
Yeah, it's going to be such a tall task to overcome, and don't forget, IEM history for FaZe has been rather spotted. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Potentially turns now, Alex. You know, they lost 2 grand finals that they were supposed to win. Everything was for them, and they lost maybe now.
I love it. That's perfect, Yanko. Poetic indeed. FaZe, when they're supposed to win, they couldn't. Let's see what happens when it's on its head. Of course, here in Down Under, Astralis FaZe Clan, map 1.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Sydney! Are you ready to crown an Intel Extreme Masters champion? Live into the pistol round. Astralis on the defense and FaZe taking up the offense. Rain's gonna be boosted up, taking control of middle, attempting to with that P250, taking some shots, keeping them honest, and it's very, very patient for FaZe.
It certainly is, and Glaive the mastermind with utility, but Magisk the first to fall. The first blow has been given. It's Rain towards Magisk, and Rain looking dominant towards middle, being assertive with presence. Building up here, and Glaive on the other side, going to be caught off guard, quite possibly. He's checking for middle, but Rain a little closer than expected. But while this begins, you're seeing that 8 hit off to the side, but Rain's a one-man army. The smoke's gone up, and he's keeping them real busy. Gonna make that rotation very tricky. Xyp9x doing what he can to keep him away. For now, bomb going down. FaZe flooded the site.
And this is a very quiet take of the A bomb site. There was no real defense mounted. Normally you get some shots off, and now they have to rotate over, and we see these vintage retakes all the time. But Rain with his P250, 2 players are being dedicated to hunt him down. It's got to come quick. Rain can buy a lot of time here, and he's surviving, not taking enough, and they have to go aggressive. They have to hunt him down. Kerrigan with 1 kill towards the A bomb site, but Rain does it all! A double kill, and that should seal the pistol for FaZe.
Rain so stoic in approach. He looked calm, cool, and collected throughout all of that. And he completely dismembered Astralis from start to finish. When they tried to get back towards it, when that bomb was planted, he was in their way. And maybe this is a good beginning for FaZe. Maybe this is the style they want to bring, that ferocity that keeps you guessing. And look at this, that follow-up.
That's so beautiful. He played that so perfectly, and this is what the desk was talking about. They need Rain. Rain had some quiet games yesterday. Everyone remembers cheering for his first kill about 10, 11 rounds into the game. He can't get to that slow of a start. Has to speed things up, and that opening pick did everything for FaZe on cash. It's Astralis now on the back foot. Device has the scout. The Deagles are out. We saw Magisk get some beautiful shots of this yesterday. And there's another one, the follow-up. He continues his tear.
Device up top, tagged good. Rain knocked back now. FaZe not having an easy time of this. Astralis is going to make them work for their meal. The 4v5. FaZe still have plenty of options available, still have that utility to hand, but Astralis, as said, locking this one down.
Readjusting across the map as well. Rain is so battered, it's going to be tough for them now. They have utility. They can actually close the gap if needed. Dupree is actually pushed out of the B bomb site, and now he's going to start getting bold. He's going to start pushing at any moment, especially as pressure is felt, but the vents are open.
This is readable as well. If you're Kerrigan, you kind of know what these guys like to do. So smoke towards middle. This is going to put pressure because Device, Glaive, they already started to play away from this. But Glaive to find exist in middle. That's going to make it trickier. Nico, Rain, and Kerrigan this time vying for options, but it looks like a lean towards A. Is that Xyp9x to the chest of Rain? He's going to be winded after that. It's Nico and Kerrigan going to try and pull this one back together, but they've only got 20 seconds. They've got the rifles. They have no utility. Their options are limited here, Jason. Device's eyes are trained on this.
This is the FaZe disaster. That's a good shot from Kerrigan, though, but look at Xyp9x. He's biding his time. He's waiting. A flashbang going to come in. There's only 8 seconds. All he needs to do is kill one. They haven't even entered the site.
Xyp9x needs to land that shot as soon as he hears this. And the Deagle, it can be a cruel mistress, but he gets the job done, and Astralis turn it on a dime. We're back all even at 1-1. The gun's recovered too. Astralis doing what's required and keeping FaZe humble. No build, no instant way back into this. No springboard effect or run.
This is what Faze is going to have to manage. This is why we think their T-sides have looked, the Des talked about, have looked so weak at times throughout this tournament. That's very unconvincing. Everyone spread out across the map. Nothing convincing. It seemed like there wasn't one set plan. It was kind of players being spread out and eventually just traded off by Astralis. Once they get that opening pick, they can start sacrificing one for one and still come out on top, and it's done perfectly, especially with the clock winding down. Faze has to avoid that in the future. There needs to be one voice dictating where they go, and that's got to be Kerrigan.
Looks like Xyp9x is the one to be getting the torrent of the T side if they do come his way, but he's not sticking around too close. You have to respect those deagles. You have to respect what Faze can do. And the smoke goes up. Xyp9x does have an angle on this one Molotov, and I think he still has a flash to hand, so towards door in case they were trying to split it, but no, it is going to be that flood from main one. He needs more. He's going to spray, and that's good for two. The Deagle to hand now just buying time. The support is on its way, but Kerrigan CZ is not bad at all.
Oh, that's a bold
plan. He's got away with it.
Yeah, he has.
Kerrigan, how have you done that one? The 2v4, unlikely as it seems, but a nice bit of a way to play for Kerrigan there. Somehow getting the bomb down, but more importantly, Xyp9x getting all of the opponents down.
Yeah, all 5 kills and ace in just the 3rd round of this grand finals. That's a good start for Xyp9x, and he's not someone that you want to start feeling confident. Incredible individually, incredible mind games being played. He's one of the smartest players that we have. This is beautiful. Obviously, the benefit, a little bit of luck as he gets that second one through the body of Nico. But the plant is going to be quite nice for FaZe. Even though they don't get a whole lot of production on that kind of a buy, the plant is going to help them recuperate some of those losses moving forward.
Well, upgraded pistols again for the T side, but nothing too much, quite reserved. P250's a smoke on Kerrigan, but that's about your lot. But Astralis, they're not a team to make too many mistakes on these rounds. We've seen them being very, very reserved in nature, very smart in approach, and the stack towards middle. Ooh,
that's brutal.
That's a headache the next day right there. So many players chunked down. Device trying to capitalize on that, but it's going to be probably Magis to handle it. Spots them down by the drop. Flash comes in, allows him a second or two to adjust. And back in we go. Tagged up, sticks around, sprays it down! And it's a massacre in middle. Nico's doing what he can, but it is nowhere near enough. Magis this time with 4 individually very, very beneficial rounds for Astralis. So you've got players now feeling good about this.
Here we go. This is where you got to see what the game plan that FaZe is going to bring out. This is the round they've talked about and Kerrigan has thought about overnight. That very first gun round when you're challenging head-to-head, and Guardian's going to have that AWP, 4 AK-47s on the rest of the players. Even actually Astralis with a good amount of AKs. Yeah, that's a nice sequence for Magis. He was great yesterday, and if he continues, that's a player who spent a lot of time really struggling to find impact in the pro scene on his former teams, and now he's got to be loving it. Astralis poised, and they want to get aggressive. The defense gets the opening pick, and Guardian is shut down early.
What a hefty blow to be given as well. Losing out on someone who could be so instrumental. Guardian, so capable of creating space for your team and opportune moments to strike, but that's been ripped away so early on. Bear in mind, Astralis still have all that utility that they want. They've got everything still beside them. We want to see that kind of, I guess, consolidated thought from FaZe on approach. We want to see something from them here.
The value of that kill is so incredible. One flashbang and Dupree pushes out and finds it. And they have so much utility still, and with the player advantage. I don't know how FaZe is going to come back into this one. Astralis able to get that frag, and Dupree just sneaks away. No damage even being dealt. There's a good pick. Nico through the door. We know we're going to see this battle throughout the game. Nico lurking. Wins initially, but he is brought down very low. He's got to go passive here. Nade from Magis is looked on point, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, Rain's pretty far forward here, a little further ahead from the others, but looking for his chance to find a way in. But Magis is there. The flash is excellent for Magis as well. Might have been a team flash that caught Rain quite possibly. Bit of a blunder, really, if anything. And Magis allowed now to play this one out. He's got control on this. They're sneaking their way through the flash. Actually hinders him more than helps, and Exist they're going to punish. Bit of awkward action with the old utility going on, and Kerrigan's going to tear it ahead. This is good for FaZe. The bomb's on Kerrigan, and he's not crossed yet. Glaive stopped that, now causing issues. And look who's on the flank. Dupree tries to get ahead of himself there. And Exist stops it. This could be the round that keeps FaZe building back. Or maybe Glaive can do it himself. Flashed up somehow. Somehow comes out of that still alive, but the time. 7 seconds, Jason. It's not a great deal, but with the bomb planted, the off plant's not bad here for FaZe.
No, it's actually beautiful. Even Nico with low HP, he's got the angle at Forklift. That's the critical point you want to hold. He can have all the information, and Exist doesn't even have to try and help him necessarily. He can just play for himself. Now they know, and Exist is going to hide. It's all down to Glaive. He's got to go find the kills, and he's not aware of where Nico's gone, and it's going to be easy. Hidden in the cubby. And a single shot, that's a second round for Faze. They're back on the board. A very slow-paced play towards that A-bomb site.
You felt with Guardian going down, that could have all gone very differently, but somehow they recovered. The flashes coming through hindered Rain, and I think it even hindered Magisk to a degree in that round too. There was a couple that went a little bit astray there.
You can see the idea. I think actually, Rain, that was a team flash. That was a mistimed peek into the bomb site for him, or maybe a misunderstanding of where the flash exactly from Nico was going from door. But still, I mean, the fact that they're walking into the bomb site, Astralis could never really get a good read on how many players were committed there. They couldn't get the rotations over in time. Double up set up this round for Astralis. Glaive's got one of them, and look at the aggression towards door. Here comes another flash, and is Nico gonna be ready? He doesn't turn, he's completely blind, and Astralis have opened up. The game plan for the defensive side is this aggression to find single picks.
That was so Magisk, you were lucky to have your life. Guardian almost had you there. Spray comes in, but that was purely constructed to find players like Nico. 3 players put towards that. A complete switch up of approach. You do pre-pressuring Minne, you do the solo AWP on Glaive on B, and then the other, of course, with Device. But that is a head to claim.
You can tell they've done their research, can't you? This is
just a little bit.
Yes, this is really, really cool from Astralis. Now, they weren't able to convert it the first time when they picked off Guardian. We'll see if Nico's out of the action. That is a piece of aggression out of Faze that they can no longer use. The AK-47 much better at encroaching onto bomb sites than the AWP. Perfect counter flashes are going to delay things, and there's another kill. Faze is being whittled down.
Yeah, the Molotovs are hindering approach as well. Magisk is going to be swept aside. Rain looking for the follow. Oh, he gets it too! Device! You blink and you miss that one, and Rain this time is unleashed. Finally put to bed by Xyp9x, but this is dominance from Faze till now. It is still a 2v2, but the bomb has crossed towards side. Guardian desperate to try and control this cross, but pressure now starting to be applied. He takes 1 point of that away. That's Dupree gone. Glaive trying to play this one back in. Nade goes through. Guardian gets a little damage, but Glaive, he's going in quick on this one. Eyes up one. It's not good enough. It's Exist there, and Faze finding form when it's needed.
This is what we mentioned in the pregame. Astralis plays that so well. They get the opening pick, they get the perfect counter flash as well, they get the second follow-up kill in on the entry into the bomb site. But the one thing that can counter all of that can counter a perfect situation, is just the skill from Faze. So many different players that can create, so many players that can just out-duel you, and exactly what happens. Rain gets a little bit of luck through the smoke, obviously, but I mean, you can't argue with the results of that round. It's now tied up 3-3 as we get a timeout coming in. Called by Faze as, I mean, remember they stumbled earlier in an anti-eco as well with the AK-47s. They got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Probably the point of discussion going forward as well. How do we continue this? Clearly aware of what they're coming up against. No second guessing about the money. They know what the situation is. The buy's been made from Faze, and on the other side, money, of course, is a real premium for Astralis. Don't have a great deal of it, sitting around 2K, so most of them absconding from anything.
Well, Exist's gonna lead the way. Doesn't want to get too aggressive. They've got a couple picks towards this B bomb site. And this is much, much better for an anti-eco round. You really have to be happy about this one. 4 players for Faze lining up towards this B bomb site. That spam happens every single round, so it doesn't give away the game. And they're just going to get into this site. They're going to play the trades. They're going to let the MAC-10 lead the way. Nico, even though he gets damaged a little bit, he's able to find a kill through the smoke, and they're all going down. Even Device being checked upon by Kerrigan.
You want to be seeing that MAC-10 getting the damage done as well. Build up those funds, try and stabilize that economy. Exist being nice play, just catching anyone trying to come through connector in middle. 3, and USPS, not going to happen. Good stuff from Faze. 5 alive, bomb plants, money being built on SMGs. It's everything you want to be seeing from a round like that.
I think you got to be happy right now if you're Faze and you're hitting the scoreboard. It's still early going, but Exist on 7. Kerrigan's going to be on 6 and Rain with 5. Those are players at times that get criticized for their lack of frag and lack of production, but here it's looking good. At least to start with. It's Nico and Guardian to round out the bottom of that scoreboard, and we know they can produce when called upon.
Got to be looking at Device as well to start building. He's had a quiet beginning in this matchup. Not yet to really get his mark on the scoreboard, but plenty of time for that yet. And a quick hit towards A. Xyp9x is completely blind to all of this, somehow still alive, and oh, they're getting denied at the door, but no, they've stuck their way through. Guardian Exist, power on forward. It's a 3v3, and again, so much potency with Faze. And the bomb planted. Nico holding the back lines. It's a real shutdown here.
I think they might have to save on this one. They don't have any kits either. Very light on utility. They might stick around to try and get 1 kill and see if they can make something possible. That's a great call coming out of the Faze camp. abusing the fact that there's not a whole lot of economy in Astralis. They don't have the Molotovs to slow it down, and Guardian misses one. That's going to allow them to move forward, and actually they're going to go for this, at least initially. Flashbang in, and actually the follow-up from his teammate blinds Guardian.
No kit on Astralis, so time is of the essence. Glaive receives a face full of damage, and you've got to know when you're done, and it looks like Glaive certainly understands that. Dupree might have overcommitted a little bit, he wants to get those guns away, and he might at least get one. Not going to get any more. And it will be round on the board for Faze here, no matter how you want to look at it. Astralis have to back away, and Faze pick up the pace and pick up the round.
Maybe a superficial retake from the Astralis side of things, as maybe they're just trying to keep the Faze players in the range of that bomb explosion. They got an extra kill at the end because of it, so try to take what guns away that they can. The problem is that M4 is almost at this point way more valuable than the AKs are for Faze. Astralis being beat up as the losing bonus builds. It's now at 4 rounds. One more and it'll be maxed out. Device, as you mentioned, still yet to get a kill. Such a crucial piece of this Astralis puzzle. He has that AWP. We know he can turn these rounds on his head. And Device has gone towards the B bomb side. He wants to find an open duel.
If he goes too far though, look at Guardian on the other side, aware that maybe that AWP is still being retained. How is he going to try and use it? How can I get around that? There's your answer. It's like Guardian's willing to be around for this, and Device might just walk into it. Got Glaive, that impression, there it is. Guardian, you can see in the kill feed, does find Device, reading him like a book, going to shut that chapter on him. And even though Exist did go down, you've got to feel that Faze should be able to pull themselves together here, but we've seen these rounds be very deadly. Xyp9x does have the CZ, we do have some armor. Not much else though beyond that. M4 of course on Glaive. Smoke's got, mollies go out. Xyp9x is forced out of position, and hit comes in towards the side. Spring, and it's Rain again. Doesn't even to seal. Glaive managed to get punished, and Guardian defining Xyp9x. It's all looking very good here for Faze. They've stabilized. There was a little bit of a threat for a little bit of time, but the best thing Astralis can do right now is ensure that Dupree keeps hold of that AWP.
It's pretty nasty. A really good start for Rain. A couple of those kills, he's been great, even with the smoke in his face at taking control of that cross. And yeah, they would love to take this off out of Dupree. Guardian so fast to those shots, and obviously saw something that Dupree didn't. He's shut down. The AWP is taken away, and even with the full losing bonus now, it's going to be another expensive purchase for this defensive side. Device is going to have that AWP on the board, and I think we're going to get an Astralis timeout here as they really need to talk things over. It feels at the moment like Faze is trying to set up for a mid or B play later on. They're really enjoying this A bomb site, having a lot of success here. The question always becomes, when do they switch things up? When do they go elsewhere and completely fool Astralis?
I guess that's the question with Astralis right now is, how do we deal with this? Can we control this A hit? Is that something we can work upon? Initially, it looked like Xyp9x really had that in check. He was doing very nicely for himself. But once it got rolling, very tough game because Faze are going from strength to strength. So discussion time for Astralis. They need to work out how they want to approach the rest of this game because Faze are going from strength to strength.
The weird part for Astralis at the moment that they might be discussing is the fact that that game plan they started with of ways to get that early pick on the CT side, the push out to get Guardian in the first gun round, and then the push towards Nico in the door the following, they didn't win those rounds. So even though the plan worked initially, falling back into the bomb sites, they still got punished for it later on. So it's a very weird situation to be in. There's the early peak, and Guardian's going to win that. Too fast for Device.
2 rounds in a round now. We've seen Guardian outdoing Device. That's going to be really getting Device's head, I can imagine, on this stage. And look at the damage. Magisk is the walking wounded, 16 HP. The Molotov goes in. Exist puts him out of his misery. And he wants some more. Stone cold. He was looking for that. But Xyp9x does win out at least. Shuts that avenue down. And Dupree is trying to keep together this A site. It's looking rather flimsy, this defense. But somehow they've kept it just about together.
That's a big kill for Dupree to get. Nico was looking to kind of take advantage of all the mayhem that was caused, all the different rotations. He thought he found a gap in it, but Dupree gets there just in time. But it's put him out of position to help Glaive. He's all alone in a 1-on-3, and that smoke isn't going to stop anybody. Rain's going to wrap around the bomb site. There's another smoke in his face, and actually just spraying through the corner. Great play, and Xyp9x. Did he create any magic? Low HP on both Astralis players, and it's desperate now for them.
Desperate times do call for desperate measures. Rain and Carrigan, of course, sitting pretty. Oh, Rain just doing so well for this side currently. He's reading the game really nicely. Dupree, again, put into this position. Well, how much can he get done? What can he do with this? Bomb plant comes in, he knows one's on site and one obviously isn't, but he's creeping his way out. I'm just going to bet, pray, that Rain is not looking towards him right now. Carrigan not stepping away from default for a second. High flash. Forces him out. Carrigan's there. Well controlled by Faze, and this T side is something we haven't seen from Faze in a while. This is a bit of a different look and something we've been desperately asking for to come out from them.
That was really cool. I mean, they go patient. Once they take that bomb site, they're very, very slow to actually get in and get the bomb plant. They want to make sure they know exactly where Astralis is coming from on those retakes before they kind of make their decision. So, well done. This phase is looking much, much different from what we saw throughout the rest of the tournament. They've had to fight and struggle the whole way to get here, dropping a lot of maps. Astralis, on the other hand, with relative ease, they went straight to the semifinals out of groups. They only lost one map in this whole event leading up to the grand finals. That was an overtime loss to Mouse Sports just yesterday. Otherwise, it's been a pretty comfortable ride for them.
A little bit of CT side aggression towards main, but they're trying to make use of what limited they have on Astralis, which is small amounts of utility and the upgraded pistols and the armor now on the other side, of course. Perfection of a buy. Faze have it all. But they have struggled sometimes to have that kind of cohesion in these rounds, but at the moment it seems like it is locked in here for these guys. We've seen that real competitive mentality. Up and over the red box we go. Have a little look down, see if anyone's pushed up towards middle. This is good from Faze, keeping a lot in mind here.
Look how far Nico is. He knows he's been punished earlier, but he's going to love these fights. This is warm-up for him. Just a little heat check as Xyp9x and Device continue to challenge, and Device is just going to keep at an off angle. They're not able to connect with that until just now. The spray comes through. Down to just 3 players on Astralis, and that's really the danger point. They wanted to get aggressive and eliminate one of the extremities of this phase setup. Guardian going to be very aware of that smoke, and he spots out Xyp9x just as he pulls a nade. That's going to be frustrating, but he's pushed him back at the very least.
Ooh, damage on Rain there, but you've got to see more than that. We've got Deagle still up. Dupree's done some terrible things with his before. Magic's going to find his connection, but still staying alive is 4 for Faze. Bomb site under control. Dupree gets shot in the back. Not going to get away with it this time, and Magic's locked away. Into the cupboard we go, and Exist drills him through the door.
8-3, Astralis, they need to get started right now. This is running away with them. Not a whole lot of time left for them to claw themselves back into this. It's going to be another AWP on Device, but this is a disaster for him. He's 0-9 at the moment. He has yet to get on the board, and that's such a, you know, we always talk about Device, the way he opts, it's so unique and he's so mobile, but if he can't find that first pick in these rounds, if Guardian's going to continue to outduel him, he's going to have no impact.
We might just see it again as well. Both AWPers going towards the same side of things. Not quite aggressive for Device, clearly not, you know, had the spawn or feeling it out quite the same, but we do see the mid-aggression coming through as well. The counter boost could be something they consider down the line, but Rain is doing so much damage. Oh. Can't get away from that though, as much as you might run and hide. The nade's coming through.
He looked up, he knew it was coming, he was waiting for it. He thought he might have enough space. Yeah.
Not gonna happen though, but still. 4v4. Not too much gain, not too much loss. Always tricky though for a CT side, because you do get spread pretty thin. Still have Device over by B, so he can be left to his own devices. Excuse the horrible pun. Glaive pushed up by middle and 2 towards A. So Faze can still overwhelm wherever they go.
This is a really tough position for Glaive though. It's not ideal with no support. Xyp9x can rotate back and forth if Glaive gets some information, he can call him to at least bait, but that's a very, very exposed spot. Obviously wanting to stick around. I think Kerrigan's going to end up throwing a little bit of a fake. Here comes the utility. We'll see if anyone bites on it. Molotov out as well. How much does he commit? Does he want to go for a kill? Because meanwhile, the B bomb site is where the real action is occurring.
If it's going to happen, it's got to be now for Device. He's going to steady himself. The deep breath before the hit comes in. The smokes, the Molotovs, it's all being made. The bait's there and he's falling for it. The Molotov burns, but he stands tall this time. First kill on the board and the support has arrived. Glaive swiftly gets round there, and the last 2 players for FaZe are struggling to find their approach. Device is doing what he needs to. It was a long time in the making, but those 2 kills were integral. You can see that little breath to himself there, just knowing that, all right, job done now.
Yeah, sometimes the first is the hardest, and he's at least on the board now, so that can make him feel a little bit better, can calm down and get into the game now. A nice hold. That fake doesn't do nearly enough. Kerrigan goes down without a fight. Still have the lead at 8-4, and they can still wreak some havoc here. They can still do a lot to the economy if they're able to win this one, that reset. There is Dupree and Device with plenty of money built up, but the other 3 players would be in a nightmare situation. It's going to come out pretty slow pace. Nothing given away by FaZe early on. Just a default spread across the map. And this time it's Dupree and Glaive towards the B-bomb site. Device is going to be in middle with Magisk.
Couple of early exchanges. No one really walking away too badly. Exist got a little bit. Magisk as well. But no harm, no foul thus far. No one finding an easy way in, but with Dupree's aggression, that could be quite fun if they do go for this. They've got the double smokes probably being put down towards mid right now, it looks like, with Nico and Rain in those sort of spots, but Could be the case if they fancy it with the B-lean to support, split through the vents. But 3 players, this could be read by Astralis. They might have full information or just an idea or an inkling as to this being the game plan. Maybe someone's heard something.
Well, usually there's some pressure being applied to Door if they're going to head towards that A bomb site. You know Nico's going to be there. This time he's not. No one in A main either. So this is a really, really nice call from Astralis. A risk on the defense. Glaive actually breaks it up. There is those crisscross smokes, as you mentioned. It's only Nico, and Magisk goes hunting for the information. Dupree can't find that first. Device in the bomb site. The nade could do it, but Exist backs off. He's got a hold, and there's another frag.
Yeah, Device keeps going. That's 2. The third would be perfect for him. But Guardian slips away into the night, but the spray through the wall. That'll do the job for you. And Astralis reading the play well, good positioning, and that's what you want from Device.
That's what you want from Zipnik, 16-8. He's having a really nice start, and Device, you're exactly right. Inside the bomb site, not pressured, not forced out of his spot, just hits the easy shots, not going for anything crazy, playing within his means. And they're clawing back into this. Astralis has arrived on the defense, 5-8 now. And the last buy here for Faze, Astralis might shatter their economy right at the end.
Well, it's move Faze now. It's their turn to try and adjust, see what they can bring back through. The answer has clearly been given, and might be seeing that CT side aggression towards A main as well. Magisk there, raring to go. I think there might be a flash put through. Yeah, a couple going in, and off we go. But Faze not really vying for that early, but they don't really have much step towards this map, and those deep nades working so well. Mouse Sports were punished by those as well.
The boost coming in now, and this, I think now you can see Nico's edging over towards Door. If he gets in there and he can actually cause some attention, they'll be able to mask if they want to move elsewhere across the map, but it's a delayed take towards mid. A lot of damage is done towards Guardian. Rain has already gotten out though, and if he can open things up, and he does it again, there goes Glaive, and now Guardian, he takes his moment. The spray forces Device off the angle, which gives Guardian the freedom, and Astralis has no information. They don't know how many bodies are out mid. They don't know if it's 0 or 5, and that's really going to hurt if they try and rotate into position.
It's only Rain really stepping forward so far, but we saw what he could do just on the opening round. Magisk on the other side. Not exactly unfamiliar with this. Ooh, Device just about gets away with his life, but it's Zipnik who's going to deal with the flood again. 1, 2. He's actually going to readjust for the third, but Nico reads it well, but by now they're looking rather slender in teammates. You only got Guardian and Nico now. Nico, though, wants to do what he can, tries to pressure down towards Highway, but buying a couple of seconds for that to happen. There's a world where that kill came through and it'd be a different situation, but it is a 2v1. But Guardian has looked supreme against Device until now. But he's got to go against Magisk too. Guardian. Bomb going down. One player pushes forward. Oh! It's quick as lightning! And now the 1v1. Device quaking as Guardian looks dominant on this site. Device without a kid either. An uphill struggle at all occasions, but Guardian stills himself, steadies the nerve, spots up, gets it! Impeccable play from Guardian. You can take nothing away from this man. That was nothing short of brilliant.
He had no business hitting those 2 shots. Magisk, that aggressive angle, I thought that was going to be it. Guardian with such low HP as well, as the Molotov starts to spread, that final kill. And what a champion. Those are the kind of plays that Faze, if they can bring them out more frequently, obviously you can't rely on it, but that's what can just ruin everything for Astralis with their smart tactical play. Guardian just crushes them. 9-5, and yeah, you have to take a timeout after that one. You need to take a deep breath and figure things out.
God damn. How do you deal with that one?
This is just disgusting. That's so fast, and obviously he misses that, it's over.
Yeah, that's done. That Guardian was so low on HP. He was down below like 20 or something. He was on 18, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but one bullet would probably have done the job there. So that's the man you want turning up in the finals for you, if you're Faze as well. But this is only the first half in a best of 5. We've got a long way to go.
It's going to be a very, very long game. Long match. Kerrigan watching for the reverse boost, I think. And now, yeah, this is much more convincing. Molotov going to try and imitate some of that mid-control. Molotov out, but the footsteps are being heard by Glaive, which isn't going to pull any rotations away. But once again, Rain has found the open space. It's Exist to find the kill. He's quietly been very solid, and Glaive actually saves Zipnik's life, but for how long is the question? All of his teammates are falling. He's trying to readjust his position. He's out in the open. He's gotten one. Somehow still alive. and he's given his team a 3-on-3.
Somehow in all that madness, he steadied his nerves, but there is still threats aplenty for FaZe. They have the numbers, but oh! Dupree! Around the back, but still they maintain numbers. Device this time, put to the question, to the task that Guardian excelled in before. A 1v2 retake with the AWP. Never easy here on the CT side, of course. And it's Nico and Carrigan against you. He's looking. He's working his way forward. Every angle could contain a threat, and they are standing stoic in nature. Still as anything. Device now gets put down. It's Carrigan to close out the first half here, and what a way to get this one started, Jason.
Well, we all had questions about FaZe, if they were going to be able to show up individually to challenge against Astralis, and that first half they've answered it, and it's yes. 10-5 heading into the second half.
We always knew this was going to be a brawl, but a 10-5 half favoring FaZe might surprise some. Astralis throughout this tournament had looked formidable, but now they've met quite possibly their match.
Seems like it. We were all wondering if FaZe was going to have their players showed up, but they've looked really spotty when they haven't had the individual level that we've come to know and love out of them. It's actually been Device who is quiet. Same with Dupree and actually Glaive. And there's some individual effort on the Astralis side. It seems like at times they've tactically outplayed FaZe throughout some of those gun rounds, but just not having the firepower to finish it up, which is kind of a scary prospect for this Astralis side. It's Exist, though, leading the way for FaZe, which is probably some contributions they didn't quite expect.
No, absolutely. It's always a nice bonus. But the one thing we heard on the desk as well is the fact that we haven't seen much of the Astralis T side or the depths that they can go to because we haven't really had to see. And not only so looking at him going for games, but the opening duels as well statistically has been phenomenal throughout this tournament. So looking at him going forward is going to be interesting what he can achieve on this T side. But Astralis now need to really quite dig deep in this one. If FaZe start rolling, the fact of them having fun is terrifying. If they're starting to just kind of loosen up and enjoy this match in only the first half, it's a little scary, but we are getting this one started up. A bit of a simple, easy hit. Smokes go up, and it's red already. There's 3 players very dedicated here. Look at this crossfire coming in. Rain prepares himself. Good damage done. Going to be decapitating Dupree, but it's going to be Glaive to fight forward. And it's not going to be working out just yet. Exist tries to still himself as they try to get in towards the site, but they've broken in. The bomb not to hand yet, but easily recovered at this point.
Smoke, that late smoke might actually help Faze. He can actually get an angle, but Matt just shuts it down. He hears the footsteps of Kerrigan. He knows exactly what he wants. Guardian, the last one left, and that spectacular clutch earlier with the ult, but surely not with the USP. Or the P2K, excuse me. That's a nice headshot. He's building upon this, and now he's got to find out where Glaive is, but no. Shut down. He found some open space, and he found some opportunities, and Astralis barely holds on to the second half pistol.
Guardian's a scary player, isn't he? We're seeing that coming through now. Just that P2K and AWP doesn't seem to matter, whatever it is.
I mean, those were very quick shots, and I mean, that was actually not bad on the initial defense for Faze. That Rain was in like a one and done spot, wasn't he? He gets that kill out towards door, and if he doesn't find like a second kill within the first 2 shots, he's just done with, he's over. So some investment for Faze in this second round, going for that element of danger, but there's only armor bought up on Rain and Nico. The rest of them are saving as much money as possible, wanting to have that utility, benefit of the cushion of this scoreline.
Nico, let's see that Deagle do something. Been a while since we've seen it come truly alive. Great work from the back line, so this is a very quick pinch. Astralis have been surrounded on all fronts. They're trying to fight their way forward, but this is very deadly. Guardian tries to find that space to operate. Magic says no, and he says no again. Kerrigan goes down. So Exist and Rain now, even with everything seen and everything red, couldn't quite get it to work. Device just on the other side. The smoke, Rain's there for one, but Exist sneaks through the door, but this is shut down from Astralis thus far. Exist knows that he's going to be very limited in what he can achieve.
Almost might as well just fall back here. Keep that CZ in your hand if even possible. You know you're going to get kind of locked into this doorway. Magisk watching for the exit. It's an easy kill from him. There was a lot of damage done to Astralis right as they went for the exit in A main. I think that was a grenade that flew in. They've at least sustained something Faze couldn't do in the first half. So they're starting to build 7 to 10 as they come back into this. Faze going to have to sit around out. Mostly just unupgraded pistols. Not a lot of utility, actually just one flashbang on Exist, so probably a plan of where that wants to go. Maybe pop flash in towards A main and just swing out and take fights, and that's exactly what we're going to see happen. But can they find the timing? That's going to be the question, if they can get it done when they hear the footsteps. And it's actually the bomb coming that way on Glaive, so if they get this right, this could be a tough round for Astralis.
Yeah, not as easy as they'd hope, but obviously no armor. Flash is great, but the spray down, not bad either, but Nico and Guardian going to connect well. They've actually picked up rifles too, and the bomb's now left in a very treacherous position. Nico up to put his life on the line for it, but nothing came through there. Guardian now without the armor, getting punished a little on the first, but he needs to be clean as anything.
Oh no, that smoke. That smoke actually cuts Astralis off from making a play, but coming right through. Device doesn't need vision. He's got 4 kills in the round.
All right, well, you know what, Jason? I'm kind of happy that it worked out this way. I'm happy to see the 3 rounds back for Astralis, because you know what that means? We have a closer game.
Well, I mean, even Guardian, the cool thing is Guardian with that AK-47 could have actually done something. We've seen him do some magnificent things in the late round in the clutches that he's been in with the AWP first, and then almost the pistol round as well in a 1 versus 3. That could have actually turned quite dangerous if he'd had the time to relocate. Either way, 4th round of the second half. The rifles are out and Device has his AWP, and we'll see what he can do with the T side. He got battered on the defense. Need to pick it up here.
Down Astralis are in much of a hurry yet. Bomb still down back in middle. Testing the waters, but Rain looking for information as well. We saw Dupree doing this somewhat on the other side, so a bit of a parallel in that. But utility being exchanged and both teams forcing each other away. As Magisk is the one testing that. Zimnix showing a little by the door.
Astralis has actually forced out a lot of utility from this Faze side, and now they've taken a scalp. Rain goes down and checkers. Faze can't do a whole lot to slow down any hits. It's just kind of counter flashes if they do come in, but that one frag is going to open a lot of space for Device to try and find a pick, and Nico is the one who's going to equalize things on Dupree. That's towards A main. There's some of those counter flashes coming in. Now he's in his locked horns with Zipnix. At a standstill between the two of them.
Oh, and Exist. Heads on over. Flash goes in. And job done. Exist. Hit and run on that. Shuts the door. Had enough. 3 players remain. Astralis now losing out on these positions. And Nico's on the hunt. He's looking a little hungry. A little bit of bloodlust comes in. And he might just get a fair amount of it. Device on the corner too. Nico, he reads it well. But Device outdoes him. And Glaive comes alive towards A. There's potential now. This was a 2v4 almost.
Oh, Device, that's gutsy, making that cross with such low HP, trying to beat the rotations, and he does exactly that. And because of it, he's now fooled Faze. They likely, because he's dinked, think he's playing passive with that op, the long range out towards middle. So Kerrigan has to be very cognizant. He has to be aware of the fact, but now it's been given up. The op rings out. They know exactly where he is.
And that's all they need, apparently. Diffuse going to come through, and the play back in from Faze was great. You're starting to see Nico looking into it. Exist feeling hungry as well. These guys are really starting to put up the fight. The double AWP as well coming over for Faze. A lovely touch.
See how that works for him. That's Astralis actually doing, getting beat up on that T side, losing way too many players. The pop flash in towards main. Zipnik scared to make a move, locked in towards the left side of door, and it's Faze who goes hunting him down. So very aggressive defense to try and find some frags when they're down a player, and it works out perfectly. Timeout now called for Astralis. They're down 8-11. Even with the pistol, that first gun round doesn't go their way, but they want to fight right back into it. They're going to invest more. And this time they won't have an AWP on Device to play with.
Desperate times here for Astralis. Purchase-wise, a little bit shoddy on a couple of fronts.
It's still relatively early in this map, but this is actually a very important round for Astralis. If they're going to be playing from very far behind, if they can't win this, they'll have to save. Faze will be able to get up to 13, and all of a sudden you're down 5 rounds, and you're on the verge of losing the opening map of these grand finals.
Well, if there's a play in the book, this is the time to break it out. You've got UMPs, you've got Galils. The other team does have the SMG on Kerrigan, but I mean, still, this could be quite something.
They've gone for mid control though, Faze, and actually it looked like Astralis was going to have a very fast-paced round towards A, but they pumped the brakes right on the verge of it. It's a retake strategy on A coming out for Faze, so this could work out perfectly. How aggressive do Nico and Exist want to be in to try and rotate into the bomb site and stop this? And I don't think they can be that aggressive. It's Nico with an AWP, so he's not at mobile.
No, the cross going to come out now. You can see them trying. Nico, he's going for a little bit of a look. Gets sent packing, but Guardian's going to do what he could and finds Dupree. Zipnix in the meantime does get tagged up, and the flank coming out from Kerrigan could be very timely. Device might have to keep a little bit of a tab on that. Seems as though he is, but Kerrigan going to try and outdo him. The angle's good for Kerrigan. He takes down Device. Now Magis gets called in. The backup arrives, and he delivers as well. It's a 4v3. And the CTs keeping control of this retake still. Zipnix, Glaive dedicated towards the side, looking for a way to get this one under their control, and that's exactly what you want from a player like Magisk. And Zipnix now needs to do it all in the 1v2, but the time is ticking, and they do not have a kid. He might have just done enough for Astralis. Desperate times did call for desperate measures, and somehow they got that round on the board.
It's okay, though, if you're Faze. I mean, you have the op to play with. You have both ops, actually. You're going to invest in this round. All 5 players from Astralis going down, so you want to challenge once again. Magisk again answering the call like he did yesterday. A hero so many different rounds, and he holds that angle perfectly. And he's the one that bought enough time for Faze to just eventually bail out of that retake. So UMP is going to be dropped over. SMGs, CZs, whatever they can buy around these double ops. Both of these teams on the verge of being reset.
Guardian is in the right place, quite possibly at the right time if this works out. The flash is good though from Astralis, forcing him away in this quick and pace. Oh, it's all Rain! Gets 3 kills, Dupree, Device, Magis, they're all gone! Faze stabbed their authority on that round, and it's Rain destroying them.
It looked like for a moment Guardian was in the perfect place for Astralis to take advantage of it. Great pop flashes, but Rain comes out of nowhere. Look at this, the savior. That is a huge, huge round, and Astralis facing the prospect of a double eco, a double save. They go for the CZ, the armor buy. Dupree's got the Deagle that we know he loves. More pressure towards the B bomb site. It's fast again. Rain's called upon once more. And so far holding strong. He's got to manage 2 choke points. He gets caught out in the open in transition. He's dropped, and it's Kerrigan up next, but the bomb is on the ground.
Yeah, these CZs not really having the potency that Astralis are dreaming of. 3v3 isn't bad, but it's not good. Device getting pounded right now, down to 12 HP. That spray gifted over from Kerrigan.
Look at the flank coming in from Xyp9x. He's up highway. He's gone through A. They were so patient. They've bought him a lot of time, and they have actually one smoke. That's on Xyp9x. He's not going to be at the B bomb site. He needs to go into checkers to help them with the cross. Kerrigan wants to challenge in front of the Molotov. Will Magisk inspect it? Yes. It's NiKo, 1 versus 3.
NiKo towering above them. They're all a little wounded, and this man is deadly. Device creeping his way forward now. Expecting a flank NiKo. Does give away a bit of the game there, bit of sound made. Not sure if they've completely heard it, but I can imagine they might have an inkling. And NiKo, how much can he do in this one? I think he's realized that this is a little bit beyond them, and money, if you have a little look down the sides, it is not looking good for Faze. This is the right option for NiKo. He's going to back away from this, and we will see this game carry on forward.
Astralis pulls out a miracle in that round, and Faze, they're benefited because Rain was so dominant in the previous round. All 5 players surviving. They have just enough built up for another purchase coming in. Rain is going to have a full investment, and everyone should have a decent amount of rifles actually around this AWP. NiKo needs to hold it though, so I'm not sure I enjoyed this call to go in the hunt, trying to keep the money low, trying to take as many things away, but exposing himself to some element of danger that doesn't come through. So all is safe for him. 12-10, and Astralis fighting themselves to stay in this opening map. Rain's going to have a solid buy, Guardian as well, and you imagine NiKo will drop that over. So another challenge here for both of these teams, as no one blinking. Device has that AWP. Magisk on 23 kills at Xyp9x on 21. He had a really hot start, but Magisk has caught up in a big way. And a late tactical pause coming out from Faze as the clock was winding down to start the next round. They want to talk things over.
Yeah, Robin being quite vocal in the backlines there. Not always the most vocal if you watch them play, but clearly having a lot to say about this one. 12-10, however. You're seeing the answers being made. Oh, no, thank you. This is why I like Australia.
Yeah, reason number 173 why Australia is great. Well, here we go, back into it. 12-10, Faze, a tenuous lead. Double up setup as well for Guardian and NiKo. Astralis has picked up the aggression these past few rounds. Fast plays towards the B bomb site back to back. This time, mid smokes, maybe want to mask their play towards A, and it's going to be speed again. Exist is going to be hiding behind the smoke. He's going to hear all these footsteps. He's calling the rotate, but it's the bomb here in A main. This is so important, and Device holding it. What a good read, and Faze might be put out of this round immediately.
I'm pretty sure they're done for. NiKo's actually committing pretty far out. That Molotov forcing him further than he'd like. 50 HP here. Device with the back lines and the other two so far away. NiKo's in trouble. He's got to be really careful how he plays this one out. Trying to escape now. Might have to take a bit of damage from the molly. 10 HP. Holds the line. Dupree goes down, but the retake impossible. The save now comes to mind, and Astralis. What a turn of pace from them.
Yeah, it's been all speed, hasn't it? And Faze hasn't been able to match it. NiKo just gets around the corner, goes for the peek, he goes down. They need to save as many of these weapons. The double op would have been great if you can buy the CZs around 2 ops in an M4, but now Astralis wants to take it all the way. 2 Molotovs for the bomb site as well. They've been spotted out, Rain sees it coming, but can they do anything about it? Here comes the attack. Molotov, Rain can't handle it. Guardian just trying to hide, not give away his position, and he just narrowly escapes.
11-12. It's game back on. We need to see the response from Faze here on the CT side. How much depth do they have to go to? What can we expect from them? Because it looks like Astralis have found the answer they needed. I don't know what Faze have up their sleeve, but it won't be this round we probably see it.
No, the tough part is because they've been locked in this kind of battle back and forth of who's going to reset the other first. Faze hasn't been able to have all the nades, so you can see that's likely why Astralis is going so fast and aggressive, is because they can be early on. There's no Molotovs or smokes to stop them from the CT side. Guardians boosted up with that AWP towards the A bomb site, and once again, Astralis already out mid, already with control. They can pressure both bomb sites from this angle. You even got Magisk at B and Xyp9x in A main to provide some kind of a pinch depending on where you want to go.
Magis getting a little bit of a glimpse there towards B. Maybe not liking that anymore. Might have to consider other options, trying to herd them towards this. The Danger Man. Boosted up. And that might have done the job, actually. They might have done quite nicely at that.
I think this is Faze just stacking B early to say if they come B fast, we'll have 3 players here. Now they want to rotate over to help out the AWP, and Guardian.
Device. He might have a shot at this one. We're going to see the bait coming in. Glaive going to try and show a little. Gives away a lot, but Exist even finding Dupree is big. They're kind of getting locked in here. They have no control of the back lines. Karrigan could have pushed up for all they know, but not the case, not the timing. Here we go.
They're hesitating. They're actually calling the bluff, and they are going to fall back, and there's no one from Faze over at the B bomb site. Karrigan with the AK, not going to expect the boost, but he does spin in time. Missed opportunity for Magisk, but they're booking it over towards this B bomb site. Exist has to get into position.
Oh, Guardian, what a way to do this. And now a 1v2 for Xyp9x. Incredible in these situations, but going through the checklist mentally. Exist is up there, forced away. Xyp9x gets the cross. Bomb to be planted now. Nico's working his way back through. He's got himself an AWP. Exist looking for a gun as well. Of course, no kits here. And Xyp9x needs to pick the position. Opting just for that little cubby corner. Both players coming back in through the vents as well. Going to make some noise on the drop. And now Xyp9x needs to land some beautiful shots. One is good. The second's better. Nico gets sent away, and we are back. Looking like we've got a real matchup on our hands. 12-12, it's all even.
He just smiles. He knows you almost think he knows that he's going to win those rounds. He didn't even feel like that strong of a position. I feel like once he hears the footsteps coming out of vents, he's kind of like, well, that's exactly where I didn't want them to be. Gets both kills. The benefit, perhaps, of lack of armor on that Faze side, even with the picked up weapons, just not able to react in time. All tied up at 12-12. Here we are again, just a default spread from Astralis. What we've come to know out of them is they consider all their options. Well, they have been delivering some fast-paced knockout punches to Faze recently. This time they know, as the losing bonus has built, there's going to be some of those extra nades and Molotovs to stop them and to deal damage early on. So slow it right back down and kind of confuse any of Faze's reads.
Nico, a bit of late aggression possibly coming through here. The flash isn't bad, actually. Dupree's completely blind and it somehow goes his way. You've got to feel for Nico in those situations to a degree, but you take those risks, and now that might be the go signal, or at least a pressure point for Astralis to build on. Exist going to try and stem the bleed as he puts a Molotov down towards the door, slows down the pace. And Astralis have to, again, steady themselves here. Can't quite go straight for this one. Device making them scatter towards middle.
There's going to be a brawl coming up. Faze actually read this, and actually because of that, I think Astralis realized that the shots that came out in mid when Device was boosted up, they wanted to rotate back towards B, and it's not going to happen. And look at the play from Karrigan. He's going to have such a sick timing on this flank. Exist and Guardian to hold off the initial hit. This can be so good for Faze. A tall challenge for Astralis.
Karrigan is about to place a knife in the back of his ex-teammates. It's all lining up one. That's all he can get, but he's buying time. This is all going terribly wrong for Astralis. 14 seconds, Guardian chomping at the bit. They've had to go forward into the blender, but Device is good for 2. Where did that come from? And now with the bomb plant, again, it's on this man. And they have no idea until now. Glaive didn't hear it. He was unaware. Now surprise, call off guard. Karrigan fights his way forward, but Device right behind him. Delivers such a blow in that round. 3 kills, the 2 were integral, the last. Cherry on the cake.
I actually do not know how Astralis took that round. The flank from Karrigan throws all the timings off, and all Faze needed was just a strong defense. Oh, the double is going to help. Yeah,
now,
the
right?
2-for-1. That's beautiful. Exist and Rain go down. Fortunate for Astralis. Faze just needed the smallest hole, just delay a few more seconds for Karrigan to really make Device nervous, and it just doesn't happen. But you have to say that flank was poised to really shut it all down. Karrigan's going to have nightmares about that, but starting to, you know, maybe come back into his own.
You got to face your nightmares sometime. Well, with the first bit of blood drawn this round, Nico fancies getting on the action. Not so easy, though. Glaive delivers a swift headshot. Gets it all back all even. Of course, aside from the fact they are only on CZs and a scout for Faze, so not exactly ideal, not exactly primed to go, but we've seen stranger things. Device up on the boost. keeping control over by middle. And it's going to be just Rain over by B if they do go for this.
I have to say as well, I mean, as much as we talked about Device with 0 kills for a lot of that first half and having a really tough first half, it's a testament to his mental fortitude and his focus that he's able to bounce back and not let that sting him into the second half. He's been great as they've transitioned into the offense, the double kill with huge impact. And sometimes with your star players, it's all that matters is that they can have impact when you need it most. Guardians here, 2 players to defend initially, and Rain just goes for action. Molotov into the bomb site. Nade is going to do some damage, but it's not enough at the moment as Kerrigan, he's going to be pinned down, but he's tagging up Device. He's trying to help out as much as possible, and Guardian, the dink, but can't complete the kill. That should secure things for Astralis.
I don't know how Kerrigan's alive, and Exist did find a rifle. They are low, but that's an issue. Exist finds 2! He's got 3 already! And Zipnik's now maybe a little worried. It was never meant to be this difficult. It was never meant to be this hard. Exist just made this worse, but the positioning from Zipnik's is beautiful. Exist has no idea, clueless. The mastermind waits, he sprays, and he gets it. Astralis outdoing them now. Watching his face fall.
Zipnik's doesn't get nervous. He doesn't get worried at all whatsoever. And it's his positioning when all the action is happening towards Vent. When all that is going on, he just puts himself in just the checkmate spot. There's no chance Exist knew he was going to be. There's no reason for him to check that whatsoever. Time and time again, we'll say Zipnik's well done in the clutch. 14-12, he's put his team up down the stretch. Guardian's got the op back in his hands, though.
It's got to be now for Faze, otherwise Astralis do get towards that map point to get 15 on the board. Good nade, though, keeping Guardian a little tamer, but long way to go yet. Best of 5, of course. As said on the desk, it is a marathon at this point. Got to keep that tenacity at an all-time high. Exist as well, trying to respond accordingly to that utility just being thrown in. You've still got Zipnik's in the door too. That could be a huge problem, but look at this. Timing is everything. Dupree's a little further ahead from where they expect. Oh, they line up for him, but the flash is excellent. Good work, sets up Exist well, and they finally get that opening kill without the trade coming instantly back through.
It seemed that there was a possibility he was going to get a double, and I was so scared for just a moment. Exist and Nico, nicely done. They're actually going to stay in front of the door as well. They don't want to challenge on the cross back. They're going to boost up. This will allow them. Ooh, they cancel it. They made a noise. They don't want to give up the game. Device in middle. Chance to challenge if you'd like to. It's Guardian here holding. They're all going to reconvene towards this A bomb site. Nico and Exist to have the initial fight. Guardian on the quick rotate. Not a lot of utility, not a lot of nades for this defense over. Just one flashbang on Nico to hold them off as long as possible. And that could be tough.
Here comes the late round aggression again. Relentless from Faze. It doesn't work out this time though. This could be the point. That's the fuse being set, and now here comes Astralis exploding towards the site. 3 players working their way out. Zipnik's now with them, but Nico's right there. Dying to get in on this, dying to turn the tide of this round, but with 15 seconds he tries to make up for it, but it's too little too late. And it looks like with Magisk at the helm, it's going very well with the bomb plant now imminent. We see that 3v3 retake. Device misses a shot just to get out, gets away, but Kerrigan's crept further forward. Glaive needs to be ready. Flash coming in. Nice work from Kerrigan. He's on the bomb side. Guardian towards Magisk. And now it's on Device through the bomb. Oh, the adjustment, but he's on the defuse. He can't stop it, surely. With a kit in hand, his job done. Faze, stay alive.
Device does go down in the end as well. Nicely done from Faze. The aggression from Exist doesn't pan out. And actually, around Astralis, it felt like they were going to win that one. They feels like they haven't had to worry about players inside the actual bomb site themselves. Faze is playing it far out. They're playing for the retake, get some kills as Astralis comes in and go from there. And it's almost bitten them a couple times, and once again, they just barely get away. The plant not for Device and A main made that near impossible for him to win. But that is a big round. That's a...
It's better than XD. I'll give you that.
That was, I mean, that's a round Faze desperately needed. That stops a 5-round run for Astralis. And Astralis have a decision to make. A couple players hovering around 4,000, couple players low in the 3,000s. Wouldn't be the strongest buy, but they know they have Faze on the verge of being reset. So very tough call, and they're going to make it at 14-13. They're going to invest. All on the line for FaZe Clan this time.
It's got to be good for FaZe now. It's got to be this round. Again, is this more aggression coming in here, existing Kerrigan? This might be the case. SMG to hand. They're about to set this one up. Flash is good again. They're so good at this, but this time the fight is going right back in. Dupree and Device combined for Exist, and it will be Dupree on his own, of course, to get Karrigan, as we did see Device fall, but a 4v3 is exactly what you want to be seeing, and there's still pressure towards B, completely unaware. Guardian so focused on Glaive, he didn't see Magisk on the corner, and winning out in these 1v1s has set up Astralis pretty well, but that bomb's still not really being played out here. Rain still challenging as well, has to get away from that Molotov, but where's Nico in all of this? He's your danger man, he's the unknown quantity.
I think he hears these footsteps. He's actually peering to make sure he doesn't get caught, but he's going to rotate over towards A. Rain is still sticking around at the B bomb site.
Timing.
Yeah, they're going to beat him here. They're going to get this plant, and Magisk coming around. Now he's going to be an element of danger for Nico, depending on the speed of this flank.
Oh, this timing could be ridiculous. So Rain sitting this fight out, it looks, for a little while there. And Nico on the flank. They're not going to expect it, surely. Spot. Did they just spot him? I'm not sure if they spotted him. He certainly saw them, though. Zimnix and Dupree now, a little confused. Nico clearing out everything he can. The information's being poured across. Now Rain goes down, but here's the trade out. Nico comes back in, but where's the other player? He knows there's another on site. He leaps around, he gets Dupree. Smoke goes in, nade goes out. Magisk in the 1v1 with the time ticking.
Oh, he's held his nerve.
Magisk, he held his nerve. What a player. Oh, and he comes around. Deagle to the chest. Nico is not breathing after that one. Welcome to the Astralis side, Magisk. You just earn your stripes and then some.
Oh, Nico almost had it so close on the flank, on a knife's edge as well. If you just held it to defuse, you obviously can't know. Even finds the second player coming in. Nico almost had this play, and remember, Rain got into that fight at the B bomb site against Magisk earlier that dinked him down to the low HP. If he had just been able to complete that kill, it's a round win for Faze, and unfortunately, it goes the other direction, and it's Faze. This is why we said that round was all in for them. It's going to be mostly SMGs, a couple CZs coming out as Astralis take another timeout to talk things over. Their last one of the game.
The desk said that this was going to be a brawl, at least on the first map, and it's certainly lived up to that. We've seen Faze being informed that we hadn't quite seen throughout this tournament. We've seen a slow build from them.
That's the tough part, is if you lose this, if you're Faze, you've had a lot of things that you knew you would need to win this game. You have had Rain, who's been locked in.
Yep.
You have a great performance from Exist. You had Device and Guardian locking horns, and Guardian actually winning those, most of it. All the recipe, and here's Dupree, but he gets shut down. There's the CZ, AK in his hands now, peering around the edge of the smoke. Astralis, you have to be careful how you handle this. Karrigan going for one more, and he's gonna get it.
Oh, this is a shutdown. Faze, they want OT, they want it all. This would put it right on the edge of it. Zipnix left in the 1v5, only a UMP to hand. Keep in mind that money for Astralis, it is far from good. Both teams in a little bit of a predicament here. Up and over we go. Nico goes down, spots out another. Don't you do this, Zipnix, don't you dare. Rain is there in the end. And with the quickening of pace from Astralis, it is met with sheer and utter aggression from Faze. And Jason?
Yes.
This looks like OT.
It does look like overtime. It's we saw Astralis win one of these earlier. That I think they might be a little upset later on today about this call. If they're not going to pick up that trophy, they might look back to that on map 1 and just say that might have been a huge mistake. The money problems for Faze were there, but because they've picked up so many weapons from Astralis, no longer. It's a complete role reversal. Only pistols on the Astralis side to try and close this out in regulation. There's an open Guardian, rifles on everyone else, plenty of kits, plenty of nades. And what do you do here if you're Astralis? What's the call this time?
Oh my god, not again. Okay. Quiet on the boost this time. Do manage it. Astralis looking for options, looking for what to do. Glaive still commanding the troops here. Device taking a lot of damage. Very close towards Guardian now. You can see Faze, aside from Exist to a degree, being pretty far back here. They do not want to let much get through. They don't want any kills coming in for free. Got to keep this one as clean as possible. Get to OT, start building back in.
Guardian can challenge that. Device just shoulder peeking, just pre-firing the shot, and a little bit of luck goes his way, and Guardian could go down, but it's not going to happen. He's had enough of that. Swats Device down like a fly. And all that's left is this set piece. Exist and Nico, they've been challenged so frequently on this bomb site, and they're going to get one more to close it out.
This is it. This is huge for Exist. Teammates are smoked off. Flash goes in. He's still good. One. You could have done with a second Dupree. He's going to trade it back in. Oh, that's great from Zipnix. But the trades come back and forth. It's all on Glaive in a 1v3. It looks like OT is on the horizon. Glaive trying to bait in the shot. And you can't bait Guardian. It's 15-15. This is what you want from a final. And this is only the first map. We have 5 more.
This game deserves overtime. It's been so back and forth, and both of these teams a chance to crumble at some point and just haven't done it. Astralis has had to win a desperation round earlier in the half. Faze has had to do the same thing. And now with 16K, no one's going to be challenged in terms of their money for the rest of this game. Double up setup for Faze coming out right off the bat on the CT side. They haven't been able to go to this too often because they have been punished. Device likewise has his AWP. Won't have to challenge Guardian with the deagle like we just saw. Look at Guardian, he's on the hunt. In towards Checkers, has the angle flashed off of it, but not gonna give up.
No, giving up seemingly not part of the dictionary when it comes to Faze. Not part of their vocab. It's not gonna do too bad, a little bit of damage, but it's not what you're gonna write home about. Guardian getting so close, but it's Nico to catch Dupree there. I'm not sure if that was through the door, I'm pretty sure it was, but that's his home. Don't go near it, leave him alone in there.
That was actually in through A main. I don't know if he spammed it or if he actually peeked in and actually saw that, but more aggression in A main. That's pretty wild.
Wow.
Smoke down in the main choke point over at the B bomb site. Reigns gonna get aggressive. We know that Faze like to do this. Pop flash him in and he's gonna push forward, gonna find the angle. Match is not ready for it. Glaive right around the corner, but doesn't want to challenge. A 2-on-5, and it's looking like first round of overtime. That smoke bounced way more than he would have liked. Took a long time to plume, but it doesn't matter. In the open, Rain is supreme, and Zipnix left, and we know he's a clutch master, but that's too much to ask. 16-15.
They've stabilized Faze, looking pretty darn good here. The AWP's really coming through. Nico had his way with him on A.
Yes.
And if he's starting to come alive, that's when you get nervous. That's when you're realizing maybe the underdog wasn't the right title for these guys. But we'll see. Plenty of time yet.
We've already established that Kerrigan just likes to say these things to just alleviate some of the pressure. He's done it plenty of times in the past.
Yeah.
And fair play. I mean, why not go for it? Why not see if you could just help out in any way you can?
Well, Rain asked so many questions already. Had the answers. He might just have to do it again. Any sound would give away the game.
Might have to do it all alone as well. He's the only one here.
This was a bit of an A read, it looks like, from Faze. They have a lot of players dedicated towards it. High weight. Rain. This is going to make you nervous. This is when your steel gets tested. Molotov towards Checkers, starting to burn, and Rain knows he has very limited options. He does have Nico in support, but they're going to check on this. How much damage can he do? 0 is the answer. Dupree takes his head off, and now it's the go signal. It's time to hit that bomb site, get the bomb down. Molotovs are in, no one is there to stop them. And Nico just goes right through the smoke. He's wild, but it doesn't go well, but Guardian shows him how it's done. And now can he find any more? Molotovs begin to burn. And it, close, but not gonna happen there. The hit coming back through from Kerrigan felt disjointed, trying to strike while the iron was hot, but for now, the 2 players remaining for Faze in a very dire situation. And look at this, Device, the timing, excellent. And now Guardian 1v4.
1v4 and blind, and yeah, this is gonna be a round to Astralis. Not even enough time for him to find all 4 kills. Nico tried to do something through the smoke, it slapped away. Rain actually has the perfect, oh, that's nasty. That is disgusting shot through the corner of the box.
It's the right kind of nasty.
It is the right kind of nasty. That's tough. Rain, that flashbang that comes in, actually it's pretty cool to watch Faze on this defense. Throughout the CT side at half, they've been using pretty much those kind of pop flash peaks to get aggressive in towards A main and now B main as well. That's what they're using to find their information, to find their aggressive and assertiveness on the defense. And that time they already had the angle, they just spray him down blind.
Can we have a little look at Kerrigan just to see where he's going in this? Okay, it's not too much of a bother. He does have the auto sniper, of course. But it is again towards B. Guardian now under pressure, flashed up now. Players pouring forward. He's already going to be losing out on his life. That Molotov burned so fast, but it's Rain still standing tall towards B, and they've held them back. He's holding all of this together, and it looks like Astralis peeling away from this very quickly.
The last time Astralis ran that round, it was Rain who got a triple kill initially to save Guardian's life. Not to be this time. The defense is pulled in all different directions, and you're right, because of that auto sniper on Kerrigan, Exist feels much more comfortable heading towards mid. This is going to be centralized, and we're going to see The Dak gets some action.
I'm a little worried about this. Carrigan lays in wait. Smoke comes in and you know he's getting excited now. He knows this might be his opportunity to make it hurt. Round the corner we go. The Massacre only good for one. Couldn't get much more, but exists. Lines him up, knocks him down. Faze looking so strong now. And Magisk, phenomenal throughout the tournament until this point. He needs to dig incredibly deep here. One on site, one by truck, and one's going to be on the highway. Does not matter. Nico is there for it. Faze looking very good now.
Looking for 19, that's the winning number, and Faze is one step closer than Astralis. Nice double kill from Exist, holding down the forklift. Really well done from him as Glaive and Dupree cannot find him in time as players ready up, and we are set to go live again after the switch. It's going to be Astralis' turn. If they want that double up setup, they can have it. We've seen them dabble with it a number of times with Dupree, with Glaive. Usually not, but I mean, if they want to get frisky, they can, and they are. Glaive's going to pick that up. Xyp9x is 30 and 20. That is an incredible performance. Guardian's at 29 on the other side, so going head to head there.
We've got aggression. We have two players encroaching on middle here. Magisk and Dupree getting very close. And this could be the perfect boost if it happens. This is all possibility. Rain, obviously, on the very verge, quickly going towards A, and it's a very quick hit. Xyp9x now needs to somehow stop the flood. He can't do it. Simply too strong. Device might be up to the task. Finds two, but Guardian there to shut this down. Magisk tries to get around the back lines, but Nico's so aware. Stops that before that begins. Now Glaive and Dupree on the retake. Burning alive is Glaive. He can't time it right. Guardian happily deals one of the killing blows in that round. Exist to wrap it up. But this is the perfect starter for this 5-course meal.
18-16, Faze only needing one more. This is a really cool hit. They actually turn to the left. Usually you smoke that off and attack the bomb site, but they get Rain in position inside the smoke. One quick pop flash, he finds his way to forklift, and he attacks the bomb site from a reverse position. That's really well done. Even Device with 2 kills couldn't stem the bleeding, couldn't stem the tide of Faze attacking in towards A, and now 2 chances to steal a map away from Astralis.
Faze tipped for greatness here. What a turnaround that would be, considering how they've played thus far, having some real turbulent times throughout the group stage, barely making it to this moment, but they are here, and you can see as to why. This is what you want from Faze. This is the form that they can bring. And these are the rounds they could do it in. Map 1. Sitting well with them for now. Still time for Astralis to get back here, but of course no mistakes. And Rain up on the boost. Magisk not far off either.
This is quiet from both teams. You can hear a pin drop, and Guardian not even peeking in towards mid yet. And Magisk is going to have a tough time now. They're starting to attack. The drop down from Rain, not expecting it. Exist up next. He's been delivering round after round, and again he finds the equalizer. The bomb is creeping over towards A, and Glaive is actually committed to middle. Great reaction from Guardian. Shifts his aim over. 35 seconds and plenty of time for Faze to choose things, but Dupree might actually shrink this map.
So far away though. There's so many players about to come towards Xyp9x. Device over by B. It's all on Xyp9x right now. Device can get there, but it might be a little bit late. It might be just behind the curve. Let's see what he can do. Gonna have to gamble on position. Highway is a huge threat. Gets the first. Exist is down, but look how many other players are coming in. Now we're gonna see if Dupree can get into the matcher at the right time as well. Spots out Guardian, tags him up. Time is ticking. It's a 2v2 and the HP is low for Faze. The bomb to be planted. Oh! The strike comes out. It's a 1v2 Carrigan. Can he win it for his team right here, right now? No! Is the answer. Astralis live to fight another day in OT.
Nico felt like he had to go aggressive with that flank coming in. Once Guardian goes down, he feels like he has to take the fight on top of Redbox, try and force Device away, give them a second front to play the post plan in, and it just doesn't happen. Really well done from Device, holding his nerve. A patient shot as he transfers to the top. One step closer to the second overtime. 17-18 as freeze time comes to an end. Weapons picked up as they exit spawn, and here we go. 2 ops for the Faze side of things. I think that might just be to try and get an early pick on Exist and drop it off for an AK-47 afterwards. He's just holding for a push towards that B bomb site, so yeah, he'll transition into his regular AK-47 as soon as he makes sure no one's getting aggressive here.
Ooh, Rain. 1 for 3 on Magisk there. I'm pretty sure that was what they're trying to boost. Very nice.
Heartbreaking if you're Magisk and Astralis.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to have a little bit of a, I guess, a feather to the cap there on towards A. It's been mostly Xyp9x on his own with the support from Magisk, maybe from Highway or, you know, being aggressive in middle. They don't have him there this round. Now they're looking for a way to exploit it. 1 minute on the board here. Double OT or Faze close out map 1. That's what we're waiting to find out. Glaive up on Highway. Plenty of utility left for both sides.
This is a great call from Faze. If they take this mid control, Astralis can't really fight for it because they're already down a man. But now both of the bomb sites are pressured and they have to get aggressive. If they want to get a player in position, it has to be Xyp9x pushing forward, and he's doing just that. He's going to be challenged by Nico when they turn this corner. Depending on the timing, Nico's watching for it. There's Rain with the big fight in mid. That forces Xyp9x's hands, and Nico's waiting for it, and Faze might be closing this out. Debris inside the smoke. He's going to get another one. He's keeping them in it. It's a 2-on-3, and now it's Device's turn with the ult, but he finds Nico in the open.
With everything they have, Astralis are desperately trying to keep this together, but Rain now pushing further forward. He's up for the chunk. No, he loses it out. Is this double OT right now? Again, it falls on Carrigan's shoulders against his old teammates. He knows what he has to do in the 1v2. And now we wait. He has the Molotov. The bomb's planted, kind of showing maybe this is for main. But these 2 players for Astralis have to work their way back in. Carrigan now. Here's them towards the site. Molotov goes in. He takes the first life. That's Dupree down. But the 1v1 begins. Device is on the bomb. Carrigan. Oh my God, this man. What is he made of? He comes around and he does it. Faze in map 1. Send more than a statement. That is a knife through the heart of Astralis.
Faze is here, and you love to see it. Great win for Carrigan. Shaming his teammates in a 1-on-2. Map 1 for Faze. We're going to go to the desk after the break, and we'll get map 2 underway.
All eyes are on you. So give them greatness with Intel Extreme Masters certified PCs and notebooks and game like the pros. When you see the unique IEM certified stickers on the outside, you'll find high-grade components with Intel Core i5 and i7 processors inside. Every purchase includes in-game content and supports the prize pool of Intel Extreme Masters. Game like a pro, because the world is watching.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Kenny's the flash here. He does it again.
Sydney, you've brought the fire all week long, and now FaZe Clan have too. We have got a grand final to enjoy and indulge upon. Astralis came into this as hot favorites. The first map, Cash. Admittedly, Astralis had never bested Faze on this map, but with the weaknesses in the roster coming up to the grand final, with the absence of Olofmeister, this was staged to be rather one-sided affair. But in overtime, they thrive, and now I have my analysts to go ahead and try and piece that one back together. Janko Paunovic and none other than Chad Birchall joining us. Gents, I'm going to maintain my excitement, but I am starting to have some hope for a grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were talking about Faze coming into this one. Their T sides looked really weak. They started off on the T side here on Cash, winning pistol, losing the anti-force by being 3-1 down, and then they picked up the pace, right? We saw some very cool strategies from them. The one in overtime that we saw where they didn't smoke off between Forklift and Red really and took that fight. That's a bit unorthodox, and that really threw Astralis a little bit off guard. So on top of that, they had the Guardian clutch and everything, but that's like just the bonus. It's good to see them that they got the fundamentals down.
Nice and poetic there to have Karrigan clutching a 1v2 against two of his former teammates to win the map. I think that's something that he's going to remember forever. If that was in the 5th map of a series like this, that would be nuts. But the fact of the matter is, exists. You know, the guy who I thought was going to be more of a liability in this team, he stepped up big time and time again, and I think his impact is definitely being felt right now.
We talked about the T sides of Faze. On this map, no less, they looked floundered. They looked miscommunicated. They looked awkward. They now come into this grand final against undoubtedly the most practiced and prepared team in Counter-Strike at the moment, and they get double digits on their T side. It's been quite the revolution in what has been, what, a week, Janko?
Yeah, absolutely.
They got it together.
Absolutely, and we were talking about how they are comfortable playing against Astralis, and there's a good chance that they will step it up and play, you know, better Counter-Strike than we saw up until this point. And another thing, they basically lost 2 pistols, right? Won the first one, got immediately force bot on, lost the second one. So Faze really had to grind this game out. They defended 2 match points towards the very end of the game, so you have to give them props for really being relentless.
Something I want to note here just quickly is it seems that Rain, in terms of, I know we've just plug and play, we're putting Exist into the same positions as what Olof was playing, but it feels like Rain is doing more of the Olof job, more aggressive, and it seems like if you look at his stats with opening kills and deaths, he's had the highest in the server out of anybody, which means he's initiating these fights, he's getting involved, and his impact there, it's almost 50-50. I think it was he had 8 successful duels and 7 of which, you know, he went down. But with that in mind, he's kind of changing his play style, and Exist might be going into his more passive positions.
Testament to how much of a brawl that game was. If you take a look at the multi-kills, everyone is like between, what, 6, 7, 8. I'm seeing across the board. Everyone was having their own rounds where the round just went their way, and it was, you know, truly kind of exhilarating, especially this. This was so much fun to watch. Device in such an awkward scenario and getting taken down by the man they put on the bench. Ooh, dish best served cold, revenge.
You can't script it, right? You can't write it any better, an ending like that. And this is what you love to see, because now you're hoping that Faze has the confidence coming into some of these other maps, that especially Karrigan as the in-game leader is aware, okay, this is what might work, what might not work, that the individuals feel like they have the upper hand. We were talking about, you know, this is Faze's first pick in a best-of-5 series, so you do expect if they're going to win any map in this final, it would have to be Cash. Now they're moving to Overpass, which we've seen them veto across this tournament.
Yeah, this has transitioned, Chad. It's made quite the evolution from being the map you should fear Faze on most to the map that Faze fear the most. It's been quite the change since the loss of Olof.
It's a weird mix, but I think, you know, now that I can see that everybody seems to be playing to a decent level, this one might not be as one-sided as I had painted the picture of before, which is fantastic for the crowd and everyone viewing at home. But the preparation of Astralis kind of gets more of a chance to shine here. They can set their defaults on the T side, which is where they're going to be starting. But maybe those grenade strats that we were talking about, the use of those HEs that Rain is so scared of, once you establish that default, once you get that map control, you're actually going to get to see some clips here that we had from Marseille, where this was against Liquid, I believe, and they tried to target with the HEs, but it didn't land. Just the idea was fantastic. I think we're going to get some examples of them retaking the B bomb site on Cache as well. This one right here.
This is grenades or something?
Yeah.
You know, it just shows you the great use of utility that Astralis have. They really take it to the next level. You know, teams, you have players just throwing random nades, you know, around the area. They hope that they can really nail it down. While Astralis, you can tell that they've been practicing this, dry running it on the server and just go, okay, this is the lineup. And let's do it right.
Yeah, so 4 HEs, you're on an eco, second round bye. It was actually versus Faze. You get to see what they got up to here, and it is just collaborative effort and goodbye. 2 players in window melting. Like that's stuff
Little
you just
details.
don't see
But
all
this
the
is
time.
the tiny details, right? The thing is, they're actually going for more of an approach of Counter-Strike, which is tactically based, whereas what we've seen from teams over the last 6 months is more playing off of your teammates via individual skill and making the right decisions.
Sure.
This is using the utility, the strategies, the timing, the fakes, the pressure, and then forcing the kills from that point. And they've got the stars to back it up. So disappointing first map. I feel they might be a little bit shaken after this one, Yanko.
Yeah, it might be the case, and the silver lining for Faze is coming into this one. Overpass was a great map for Faze, and if they can somehow reignite that spike, reignite that fire, we might have another competitive game, especially with Guardian being on fire, right? We know that Overpass is basically his playground at times, but it's the same case for Device. So Device was having the upper hand in some of those head-to-head duels on Cash. We'll see how it unfolds on Overpass.
No, absolutely. Guardian is scary, but I think what's so interesting, from an analytical point of view is that Exist is a player that you don't expect to see leading the fray for FaZe Clan. But this is testament to what he is capable of. I mean, there's not many players, Chad, that you'd probably put in a similar category that you're not surprised. You're not necessarily surprised when it happens, but it's not something you're expecting.
Yeah, especially when you've got Guardian, Nico, and Rain around you, right? You don't expect him to step up to that level. We've obviously seen Carrigan do it with a couple of plays here, there, and everywhere. But people are quick to forget that back in 1.6 days, Exist was a fragger. He wasn't an in-game leader. If you look at only CSGO stuff, sure, he's done a lot of that throughout his career, and that hampered his playstyle over time. But now that he's back in this role where he can be a little bit looser, he can go off Carrigan's calls, he's actually an asset in lots of ways because Carrigan didn't have anybody experienced to give him ideas. And now he has got someone who has won majors, who's been a top dog in CSGO for a long period of time.
And also considering Overpass is coming up next, he holds that B bomb site with Nico, who has been, struggling a little bit on Cash, so it's great to have him having a good performance for that CT side. And you do feel like Nico, this is where he would need to step up on Overpass. He has that role towards B on the T side where he's looking for fights, but again, it just feels like it's one of those positions where everyone knows what he's going for, and people just deny him those easy fights, those easy duels early on.
To build on that, though, of course we have them holding over towards that side, but if I'm FaZe right now and I'm starting on the CT side going up against the structure of Astralis, keep taking the brawl to them. Go hyper-aggressive on the CT side, not only over towards that party area, but be doing it towards water. Get control of that, because we highlighted at the start of the show that be execute and how powerful and potent it can be. You remove that territory, they're done.
You can also see how much more fluid FaZe was in this game on Cash, right? You could see time and time again on the CT side. Pop flashing A main, let's try, let's not leave anything to chance. Mid-round towards B, you saw the round when Rain got a double kill. Smoke off B entrance, they've lost control of checkers, Guardian pop flashes for him to clear. That's something that's been missing from a lot of teams and FaZe on their CT sides. Very static. We were talking about it earlier on in the tournament. Too much reliance on, we have great individuals, they'll just kill whoever comes their way. They actually realize against a team like Astralis, you have to try, you have to constantly take it to them. You have to constantly be on top of your game.
And God, imagine what you've just described over the course of 5 maps. I would be exhausted. You guys were tired after one intense show match, never mind 5 of them on that crazy stage. We may very well get there. Chat.
Yeah, the elements from outside of the game, like getting exhausted from playing so much, but I think there's a mental element here as well, right?
Talk to me.
There's been the history of when Carrigan was a part of the Astralis roster, the fact of the matter, they would always choke. They wouldn't win the grand finals. They wouldn't even, get to the grand finals, not making it past the semis. Now that it is Carrigan versus the old trio, Zipnix, Device, and Dupree, in this roster going head-to-head right here, right now, and Astralis are the favorites this time round, maybe it's a chance to prove for Carrigan that it's the other 3 that the chokers in the grand final and not him.
Well, I mean, if you look at the track record, it is rather bleak for FaZe Clan. So many finals and so few trophies. It's been this kind of turbulent tale of close but no cigar. But this time, where the odds stacked against them, they're poised to cause quite the upset and quite the stir here in Sydney.
Yeah, especially in best of 5s, right? They lost the last 3, really. They lost Katowice, they lost Oakland, they lost Pro League finals, right? They're not doing great, really, in this format. And that's why you feel maybe with a change of... They were basically favorites in almost every single of those finals. Yeah. I think the SK one is a bit questionable because they used to struggle against SK all the time. And against Astralis now, Astralis is the favorite. FaZe has nothing to lose. So that really alleviates a lot of pressure for them. They can play a bit more loose, which is what we've seen. Again, using, I think it's a good term, they were a lot more fluid in their game here on Cash. So they need to keep that up across the series. And if they can do that, we can have a very competitive grand final.
And when we talk about, Overpass, there's a couple of kind of players' tendencies that I think we can highlight while we do resolve what seems to be a quick audio issue on the stage. One of which is device and what he does on that CT side. Now, just quickly give me a kind of TLDR of what we can expect from him.
Actually, that's a great dynamic they have in the team right now because Magisk is playing with him towards A, right? And Magisk, a very aggressive player, Device prefers more passive angles. You know, yes, he can go for obviously aggressive peaks too. So they have a very good balance. They found very good balance between the two, allowing Magisk to go for those aggressive plays sometimes, you know, Fer-esque, pushing all the ways towards the fountain while Device is covering his angles, and vice versa. You know, Magisk covering the close, like where angles where the rifles can just, you know, triple peek Device and he gets all the positions covered. So it's very nice seeing them how they managed to do that.
Yeah, and when with that kind of on the other side of things, you know, when we talk about the CT setups, we used to talk about where do you go, but I mean, there are still some strong spots on the map. Do we want to get that rain toilets conversation going?
Look, we've had that one many times.
So many times.
I think, you know, we can just say it one more time. We've got Guardian Rain over towards A.
There it is.
But even if you're ever going to talk about a team that can find a way to minimize his effect with utility, it would be Astralis, right?
Yeah, that's true. They'd like to set the pace. Look, we highlighted the fact that Molotov over towards sandbags towards that B site from Zipnix is pivotal. The idea there is there's ways that you can mitigate that, right? You can play heavy connector and you can push out into the sewer area. You can take that part of the map away, and that's going to force the hand of Astralis to try different strategies.
Yeah, and talking about water, and I think Astralis, you need to keep an eye out for this on their T side. They have a very cool execute where they basically are faking that they're going for another default towards A, throwing the smokes towards toilets, right? Pop flashes, Molotovs, like everything's going the same. And then they just rush down connector into water, into a B execute. Like, it's the timing of that is so amazing. You know, the players that have been throwing utility towards A, they're just rushing down B, while the other guys who have utility saved, they're throwing it over the B bomb site. So the timing is as the guys are coming down connector, pushing towards water into the site, flashes are popping off, smoke for heaven.
Where are they throwing it from?
Water. I think it's from water on B, you know, like outside monster, outside
as the
water.
rest go in.
Then they just go for it, right? It's just so beautiful, the timing of it. And we've seen Fnatic. I think it was a Pro League game where we saw it the first time. Fnatic had no idea what was going on in that round. So obviously it's been done now. Maybe FaZe did their research, but I still think it's a very cool execute from Astralis.
They must have so many different strategies up in their head. Like I was thinking about the other day, how many maps, how many different sides, and how many different approaches they have to have.
Yeah, you heard Carrigan say in the interview that the old Astralis, their plan was to have rounds 1 to 10 planned, and that was an issue. And I think now that it's a bit more brawly, Counter-Strike could be anywhere.
It certainly could. All right, word on the street is we're about to be getting into this one, over past the map. Leveling out the series, that's the thought?
Yeah, I think this is where Astralis is, again, like really, really comfortable against any team in the world. And for FaZe, there's always a chance with these individuals, but I think it's a tie here.
Looking to go 1-1. Sydney, we're ready to get back into the battle. Let me hear you. That guttural roar as you fill the Kudos Bank Arena. Lauren, Jason, it's over to you.
We've got a game. FaZe shows up huge on Cash to take it away. Overpass next, and we should have another brawl on our hands. Both these teams being effective on this map in the past. Look at the aggression. Getting right into it, and Kerrigan's gonna go down first. Guardian now, he's surrounded. He's gotta fight his way out. And they're out of position, and he's out of time, and 3 kills the way of Astralis.
This is a dominant beginning as Rain now left in the 1v5, feeling very alone here after his teammates got completely swarmed as they went for a bit of aggression. And Astralis fired up. The perfection from Rain, truly accurate in what he does, but would he expect this? No! Zipnix does get the better of him, and it's Astralis with a very clean, very precise, and perfect beginning.
They didn't give anything up. They kept up that aggression the whole time, knowing a second player, Guardian, not able to find his way out. I mean, obviously, they want to win some of those fights, and if you have the opportunity, you retreat through the door to join up with your teammates over towards the B bomb site, but Astralis made sure there was no chance of that. And again, we see investment from FaZe, but not everything. No armor purchased on any of these players. Scout dropped over to Guardian so that he can still have an AWP moving forward, and double nades on Exist and Kerrigan to try and find a timing and a choke point to do some damage in that fashion.
Not a bad plan at all. Plenty of potential considering there's a lot of SMGs up against them. Only one rifle, bear in mind. And Rain's the one to lead his way forward. Trying to be obscured from view. Does get himself up towards the fountain. Dupree and Device on the other side, depending on who plays up first.
You're just kind of flipping a coin if you're in Raiden's positions. You have 2 different angles and they're so far away from each other, and obviously you're hoping for a sound cue. He doesn't get any of it, and he still hasn't pushed forward, so no information gained. Guardian's pushed up as well, so no chance to cheat a player over towards this B bomb site. You have to hope that Exist, Nico, and Kerrigan are going to be able to hold this hit off as long as possible for Rain to have impact on the flank. Just a few kills, thin the herd, and here we go.
We've seen this hit before, we'll see it again. Magisk, the first man in, and so far this is very clean. This is very nice from Astralis. Great deals of power with the way they're approaching it. Vice does get caught off guard, but the support system's there, and Magisk puts a couple extra bullets into the body to make sure he's dead.
I wasn't happy about map 1. He's just showing off a little bit. Props to the boys on the desk. That was the strategy that was highlighted by Sponge, especially with the Telestrator and Yanko talking about it. That curve to the right to clear out towards Monster. The no-scope tag comes out from Guardian, but that's all he's going to get. Faze is wiped off the map, and Astralis takes 2 in a row.
I guess this was a wake-up call for Astralis as well. Map 1 was never going to be easy. It was meant to be a brawl, but in their heads, they probably imagined that was going to go their way. Never thinking for a second that FaZe would come out as strong as they did.
You were, we mentioned that Kerrigan tweet, take the pressure off the boys, and as we were walking back, we actually overheard the conversation between Robin and Guardian, and it was, oh, what are you going to eat after the finals tonight? Are you going to go to, where are you going to go? What you going to get? You going to get a salad? You going to get a sandwich? What was it? So obviously playing a little bit loose on this FaZe side, not too worried. Map 1 goes according to plan. This might be a different story, though. Astralis very, very good on this map. They did lose confidence on it at a certain point. At one point, you could call them the best team in the world on Overpass, and they kind of shied away from it, but looking solid at least to start here.
I think that's just the cycle of CS, though, isn't it? If someone gets excellent at something, everyone kind of guns for them. They become the #1 target. Everyone wants to learn how they play. And I think we heard a bit of that from Kerrigan as well in that interview, echoed by Glaive, too, that you can't maintain dominance for too long. People are always gunning for that spot. And these two, you could argue 1 and 2 in the world. You could put them wherever you want after the shuffles, or how it's sitting now with obviously Olaf not in that roster right now, taking that time. So again, quite tricky to dominate currently, but a double AWP is the instant thought from FaZe.
Guardian's got no armor, and he's tagged up down to 26. Great utility usage. And actually, Astralis going for an economic slingshot. Even Exist is brought down so very low. There's a lot of SMGs on this attack.
But Rain's positioning, again, pretty paramount in this. He's got so much room building for him. It's giving people like Nico confidence to sit in these positions and feel like maybe we have a really good step to this, because Rain's still building around in the back lines. The adjustment was decent. He didn't get the full damage he wanted, but now Rain quickens the pace. He could be the absolute downfall of this team. That's going to remove a huge aspect of this hit. It's all coming from short now. Glaive and Magisk working their way in, but Kerrigan stands tall, as does Exist. They find the 1-for-1 trade out, but a 4v3 doesn't tip it either way. But Rain in the back lines does. 2 kills for him, leaving Glaive in an impossible situation. Has to remove Rain, get past Guardian. Kerrigan still there, and Nico too. Rain making this so uncomfortable for that SMG. It just simply might not be able to do it, even against such limited HP. He does somehow make that shot count. But now 40 seconds. What's the game plan, Glaive?
Yeah, Rain's already won everything, but it's okay if you're Astralis. As I mentioned, they had 4 SMGs, so they still have plenty of money built up. And obviously, 2 kills is going to help out. The big thing for FaZe is the double ops setup still alive. They don't lose one of those, and that's kind of the heavy investment they're going to have. They can actually pass over some N4s. Still not going to be great in terms of what's behind the weaponry. But FaZe is going to be happy with their first round, and this is something Astralis is going to have to be worried about. Just considering the map that Rain had on Cash, he was very, very impactful. He did a great game, and here on Overpass, he's one of the main points of strength for FaZe on the defensive side. How he plays over towards Fountain Playground in these bathrooms, that's huge.
Guardian again fancying his chances. This time strikes well, but does take a lot for it. He really can't, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide pretty much there. Rain tries to help him out, bail him out of that situation that was spiraling. But dominance shown early by Astralis, winning out in those opening battles. Now they control that side of the map. What do they do with it?
That's one way to deal with the problem if you're Astralis. You want to temper Rain early on, so you just go right at him and you let him know you're not going to be afraid to take those fights. Guardian may want to second guess. A couple rounds in a row now. That first one he was naded back, he was damaged. This time he's just dropped clean. Does get a tag, but Nico now, you can see him playing behind the wall. He's pop flashed off this position last time, and he waits for the sound cue. Another leg, but no kill, and they need those, and they need him now. The hit through Monster coming in, and Nico just narrowly avoiding the danger. Kerrigan, the flank's doing work again, and now Nico can chime in.
What a response coming out from FaZe here. Device pushing further forward, trying to find a free fight, but I don't think he's going to get it. Oh, Nico bouncing up and down.
Please don't hit me, please don't hit me.
And Dupree in the 1v3 now. 40 seconds remain. 3 players to try and acquire if he wants to go for it. Bombs within reach. But there's no way out here. Dupree knows he's kind of stuck. How does he try and plan his way forward? Knowing Nico may be pinned, Dupree fakes the bomb. Here's the steps on short. That's Carrigan. And it's a game of cat and mouse, and so far, Dupree does get a bomb down. There's the swarm. Carrigan comes in, and it's Carrigan's round from start to finish, really. Those 3 kills for him, especially after losing Rain and Guardian, was so big.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is 2 rounds in a row now. Astralis is going to be worried about their backside and these hits moving forward. Rain comes with a flank through T-spawn in round 4. Carrigan down the stairs as soon as they're hitting this bomb site. And I mean, it is born of desperation, right? You're in a 3-on-5. You know someone's got to make a play somewhere that they're not expecting, and Carrigan does just that. Allows Nico some safety in that position to get 1 more pick, and this is a calm and collected Faze under pressure as they build back into it. The plant helps out a lot, as it's going to be a very strong purchase again for Astralis. They built up so much money. They only lost 1 player across the first 3 rounds. And even after this one, as the losing bonus builds, they'll have another buy coming forward. So Faze still having to face a lot of AK-47s. Great damage. Dupree and Magis put on notice.
Again, such great reach from Faze. You know that Dupree is eyeing up that angle for the booster. Anyone trying to jump spot that. He does that so often. He's very good at it too. The nades are impeccably placed. But what's even better is Guardian finding Glaive for free.
Dupree gonna go for the boost up. Oh, a triple nade. That's very cool. And Carrigan brought down to 14. That would have been beautiful to find. Probably a little bit shocking for him. He sees absolutely nothing, but that little trick doesn't work for Astralis. Still 3 players at the speed bomb site, and with the low HP, it's going to be so difficult. Device with the op needs to provide an opening, and Zipnix is going to have to be way more aggressive than he's used to. The bomb is dropped back. They're going to have to pick that up as well. 40 seconds on the clock.
Device against Nico here. Look at this angle. Ugh. I don't see how this works out for Device. That Molotov has really helped, forcing him away from the angle. It does lead them in, but Zipnix is the one to provide the opener, removing Carrigan. But keep in mind where that bomb is, Device has to back away to pick it up, so even though they have some of the site, the bomb's now being just carried over, but the spray comes out and Nico delivers towards Magisk. Exist, lovely play towards Dupree. They're being peeled away and removed away from the side. Device in the 1v3 situation himself now. 14 seconds left. And there's surely no hope for this. Great work on towards Exist, but instantly Guardian replies with a much louder statement. And Faze are right back at the door.
They do so much damage before that hit even comes in. It's not necessarily easy to mop all of it up, and it makes it much easier for the Faze clan to play passive on that bomb site and wait to just spot an arm or a leg or any movement across those smokes. And obviously the ops have been so effective for Faze. This double op setup, Guardian and Nico doing work to open this map, and it should be a little bit easier now for Faze, although you never know with CZs and Deagles on the board. Put Astralis back into a weaker buy, and again, they're going to be presence out towards Picnic. Guardians here again, but the flashbangs are so effective. They want to chase him down, but he does get away just barely as Device leads. The tip of the spear for Astralis.
He spotted 2 out of this as well, so he's going to really humble them down, knowing what they're coming up against. And the instant fallback adjustment comes in for Faze. You can see Rain playing up by that kind of, I guess, signpost. Guardian trying to find a way to keep some sort of tabs on the bathroom area. Spams away. Zipnix receiving a fair bit of damage as well, trying to hold the back lines. That's going to sting. Blocking out the smoke. Good moves from Guardian, trying to give himself a little bit of an angle to work with. Could make the difference, but apparently Dupree's Deagle does just that little bit better. Goes back in for more. Guardian is not backing away from the fight, but Dupree doubles up. Oh, it's a third as well. Astralis somehow making this site seem so close. A leaping SMG, however, will create room for this build back to come in. Magis willing to take the fight, willing to take the challenge. He loses out as well. Carrigan bullishly working his way forward, and this 2v2 looks tricky now.
Device has that op though, in great positioning from Dupree wrapping around. They have no idea where he's been, and I think Astralis is going to win this one out. They've played it so well. They don't want to drop the ball here right at the end. The bomb is tapped, and there's Device chiming in far away. Nothing to deal with him. Nothing to deal with Dupree from behind, and Astralis is going to steal one away. Some mistakes from Rain getting caught out in the open initially, and Guardian missing some critical shots, and Astralis have responded.
Well, we all know what can happen with Dupree's Deagle on this map, and I think he's showing us as well some classic moments from him. Always so potent. But 4-3, that's the answer you need.
But even with a 3-round win streak for Faze, they took so much damage in those rounds that the money just never got comfortable. So Astralis just applies barely enough pressure to be able to just reverse their entire fortunes in that one buy from the CZ. And you can see kind of the danger of it as well. The double op setup, the way that Faze was using it, Nico's the next one to rotate over. And all of a sudden, once Rain goes down, you're defending the A bomb site against the most mobile and effective weapons in the game, and all you have is 2 ops. That's just not going to cut it. Astralis taking advantage of the weakened defense. And Faze going to call a timeout to get that extra time to talk things over if they want to invest, and surely they are. All in Guardian's hands still. 3 M4s and a CZ is left on Kerrigan. Money management has been phenomenal for Astralis early on in this game.
Yeah, somehow sitting relatively well with cash in pocket still after this very good purchase. You see Device up for that opening fight. Takes the angle, commits to it. Guardian's looking for something new this time, however. Still supported by Rain. Kerrigan trying to find a place in that CZ. And up we go. That's a curious one. Nade doesn't quite do what it wants. Glaive might be surprised by this. He certainly is by that. Rain takes the corner in underpass and puts him down.
It's pretty aggressive for Glaive all alone. There was no one even to trap them in stairwell coming from above, and no one to trade for Glaive. This is a disaster for Astralis. They don't have map presence over towards Fountain whatsoever. Rain's getting spammed down. That's a good return through the wall, but the tough part for Astralis is they know there's going to be a fast flank coming in if they hit this B bomb site, but they also don't have a way to rotate back that easily. They're going to have to fight their way into an opening, and the absence of pressure means Faze is going to give up the position that Astralis knew they were in.
Magic's going to hear this, though. Hearing them fall away, back down towards the site. So good information being kind of passed through the side. See Xyp9x and Device now trying to find a new avenue of approach, but 44 seconds isn't a massive amount of time. A little bit of utility shown towards long. Might not be where they end up here. This could be a bit of a double around.
They have to. I mean, Xyp9x and Device just did a cursory clear of back towards Playground, back towards Fountain, just to make sure there was no quick flank coming in. They've been punished by that a couple times already in this game, but they have to hit this bomb site. They've just got nowhere else to go.
Well, this could be one of the patented hits to a degree. We do have the Molotovs up, but the boost is huge at dismantling this. Going to make it incredibly hard to make this count with 15 seconds. So many players here. The spray's good. Dupree gets down existing. Oh no, Xyp9x finds him, but he just goes wild! Xyp9x, how many kills are you going to get? Bomb planted. He needs 2 more if he wants this to spray through the smoke. Gets a reload off. He gets another smoke down. How is Xyp9x alive here? Smothered in smoke and players at the doorstep. Goes around the corner and Rain does manage to find him.
You got to feel for Xyp9x there. He does everything he possibly could to make that happen and just not able to. What a tough situation to be in. Survived as long as possible. A good win for Faze. Obviously that initial kill on Glaive just keeps them boxed into the B bomb site that entire time, and Faze has a perfect read of this scenario. Even the boost up to get one more frag before the set piece comes in. So 4-4 all tied up. An unfortunate TK as Xyp9x does what he can to make up for it. Can't really blame him too much. A hectic situation to be in.
No, that's just how it is. Now, doesn't seem as though the timeout has been called again. Might be for...
This one's Astralis, right? They want to talk things over. They've got plenty of money, so it's just a matter of figuring out what tactic they want to call, what they've seen so far. Haven't really taken a gun round towards that A bomb site just yet.
No, we haven't actually. We saw obviously the Deagle doing work. We saw a good bit of damage being done with the CZs too, but long way to go here still. This back and forth matchup, both teams bringing us world-class Counter-Strike on this stage here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney.
Which has been incredible. Faze has had to build into this mode, and they've really had to, I mean, this tournament's been a struggle for them from start to finish here in the grand finals, hitting a good peak. Double op setup again. That's been ruinous for Astralis in this game.
This time Astralis having to be careful, trying to take their time on approach, considering the party did have presence there earlier. I think Device might have seen enough of maybe Guardian leaping up there that just kind of made the call happen, so they're going to have to clear through this. It takes time. You can see the adjustment already. Guardian's elsewhere.
There is an entranceway towards this A bomb site, just a clean march all the way along bathrooms. Zipnik's watching for pushes. When does Guardian get the idea? He's got to be careful with how he plays this, considering they can go through bathrooms towards short, and he backs off, finds a timing. The internal clock tells him to back away. Just minimal amount of pressure being applied from Astralis. They haven't really picked a bomb site just yet. This is going to be tough, though. Nico and Exist are ready to hold. If Astralis tries to rotate down these stairs, they have not cleared out this portion of the map.
No, this could be a huge issue. Dupree might give a bit of a full safety report, but we'll see how far he gets before the call's made. Exist does find Device, but Magistrated out well. An uncharacteristic miss. Nico outdone, and the side is there. Was nearly 18 seconds left as well. The shots are not landing this time for Faze. It's all going to be Astralis here. This retake is never going to happen.
Such an important trade from Magisk, and obviously the follow-up onto Nico as well, who misses the flick, was expecting someone to peek from below. Not ready for that. A 5th round for Astralis now, and they've punished the money once again, so Guardian and Rain going to have to bring these guns into the next round, and that's all they can really do. The follow-up as Kerrigan tries to rotate over, just the speed of which Astralis took that bomb site was too much. Not ready for the follow-up fight from Dupree, so well played from Astralis, a good reaction.
Yeah, this is certainly a good bit of play coming back in. The pause clearly coming through well, and Astralis finding that room to work, but Faze trying out new looks, trying out new things, it seems, trying to find those pressure points to really punish the Astralis side, but for now it is a step in the right direction for Astralis, but Faze, it seems like they always have an answer to this.
That little bit of pressure that Astralis applied over towards A, I mean, they kind of gave up the fact that they had presence on the T side towards bathrooms, that they were encroaching upon the A bomb site before rotating back. That was huge. That kept Kerrigan frozen as long as humanly possible. Not realizing the presence out of door was actually a commitment from Astralis. And if you're Faze, you unleash Guardian in this round. You tell him to go hunt down some opening kills, and Device equally is going to try and stop him here. Waiting for the pop flash turn from it, just narrowly misses that timing, but he's going to grab a new angle. He's not ready to give up just yet.
Doesn't need to give up at all. Guardian claiming the first life in this round. Takes away Glaive. Device maybe a little baffled by that, just didn't expect that play on his own, and Guardian already adjusting. Astralis trying to find a new way to approach this with only their 4 players. They do have that full set of utility, but where do you put that to play?
Guardian's the only one on the A side of the map, and he's not even at the bomb site. Astralis doesn't realize that yet, but he's been mobile. He's pushed up. Magisk is going to try and flash him off. He peeks the angle. Guardian going to slide out, gets a second. He'll be pressured by Dupree next, but he's scoped up, and he's not going to miss that. All 3 kills for Guardian gives Faze the advantage, and Device steps up to the plate, but can't land it.
Oh god, Guardian could be on for more as well. 3 to begin. Is the 4th going to be happening? No. Device keeps in check, but what a turn of events that is. Looked like it was all going to probably go back to Astralis only having 1 man, but that 1 man when it's Guardian, that can be something completely different.
It's the luxury of having historically one of the best hoppers to ever play the game on your team, and that's what I talk about when you say unleash him. Just have him go make every play that he wants to, and he finds you the 3 kills. Still going to be a pretty tough hold. It's Rain here with an M4, and Kerrigan with the CZ, who swings out, takes the initial flight. That's big. They now know exactly where Device is, and the off angle from Rain is too strong. He might close the round, but Guardian is the one that sealed it early on.
Absolutely, and what a matchup this is. Back and forth it feels. Slapping Magisk into the wall. Oh, it's just too much to go towards that sort of thing. Well, let's look at the money here, because it looked good for Astralis for a while, but where's that going to go?
Well, we just saw them, we saw them win one of the rounds with the CZs. They were much more aggressive and much more faster paced than we've seen. This time not as much utility. 2 Deagles, 3 CZs, flash and a smoke still on the board, and they're going to do it again. They're going to head up towards the A bomb site. Rain and Guardian falling back, and Device is the first one to apply pressure, but with no backup and not beating them to the angle, he's just going to fall away. Equally so are Rain and Guardian, but it's good to deny that map control as these pistols spread across the map, and really you're relying on the Deagles to find you something.
It worked before, but surely not, 2 times. I don't see that being the case, but still, Nico going to get Magisk almost for free there. No damage being dealt at all towards Faze so far in this round. Astralis looking a little bit bruised at this point. His Exist looking to close in as well. He's dying to get involved, but no one's going his way just yet, but there's plenty of opportunity. This monster contains 2 players, Glaive towards water. Here we go. You can see Faze prepare themselves, so they know that something's coming their way. Flash, not bad, does get 1, he gets 2 as well. Exist wants it on the action, but he just can't find it at the right time. His teammates are taking it from him. And Astralis this time not gonna have a chance in hell at this round.
It's pretty important that Faze actually has a clean round with only losing 1 player. They need to build up some money to just kind of sustain them. Astralis has applied so much pressure, and they've done such a good job of keeping their money strong that they've really maximized the amount of times they can punish Faze. Another buy coming out here. They've never had to do more than just 1 half buy in a row before they can get the op and the AKs out on the board again. At least this time they'll be missing that op on device. But just 1 round behind, keeping in this game as much as possible. Again towards Fountain initially, smoke on the staircase, and Kerrigan changed his mind. He wanted to run down those stairs, but I think it was Rain that probably called him off.
Yeah, looking for a different angle. They're going to go for a bit of a boost. Actually, boost across the map. There's a Guardian there as well.
There's a gap in that smoke. Xyp9x needs to be careful with how he approaches that, but thankfully the boost has been given up by Faze.
Yeah. Astralis getting that map control building, trying to get some presence across the board. And Rain's been so good so far. Supporting whether it be Guardian or Kerrigan on this side. Molotov doesn't quite spread too far to worry them too much, but the smoke will go up regardless. A bit of a pre-fire, going to make it a bit uncomfortable. Kerrigan's a bit of pressure here. The return fire comes in, but they're going to walk away from this.
Seemed like Rain considered firing back, but didn't want to take the 50-50 fight through the smoke. They'll be content with trading damage on a Xyp9x and Kerrigan. Pretty equal exchange as well. Now the bomb rotating back. Remember, last time Astralis was able to pressure onto this A bomb site, it was a pretty deadly B hit. Although Nico and Exist are pretty close up, and another smoke out towards Monster is going to help him out. Could be a small fake. Utility being lined up over at A. Dupree or Magis could drop down those stairs and go meet up towards the B bomb site. Actually, it's going to be both of them. Kerrigan's aggressive enough to where he can tell Faze that nothing is coming. It's a fake. Exist going to be called upon first, and Xyp9x looking the wrong way. Dupree shuts him down, but Nico now has a decision to make. Towards Monster, he finds the bomb, and he holds on as Guardian with the off rotates into action.
Magisk, not enough time for the round, but starting to warm into this matchup. Great work between Nico and Exist there. Guardian never too far away either.
No, that's a really timely rotation from Guardian to provide the long-range firepower. And Astralis, those B hits starting to be ineffective, and they haven't really been able to establish success towards A. They haven't really gone for it quite yet still with the AKs.
Let's see that money as well for Astralis. Kind of bruised and broken here. Magisk, of course, still with the rifle, but the others, CZs, bit of utility. Faze on the other side, of course, looking pretty flush right now. Everything they'd ever want. And they're not relenting either. Rain gonna have a little look towards underpass, but Guardian getting humbled there on the nade. Gonna have to be forced away from that one. You're gonna see the response as well from Rain having to back away too. Does not want to be isolated.
Yeah, once he doesn't have that cover from Guardian towards Fountain, he just gives up his aggressive stance. Just 1 nade causing a lot of rotations. Nice utility work from Astralis, but that's not good enough in this round. They need more, and Magisk had the 1 AK-47, and Guardian, yeah, he's been naded down to 50, but he's not gonna give up every single angle.
No, definitely not. Well and truly up for the fight. Boost still into practice as well towards B. Nico there maybe watching for the play towards short, but certainly able to swing and adjust towards Dupree if required. It's Glaive and Dupree trying to build in, but Glaive's not giving away too much. Dupree, however, runs a bit of a gauntlet. I wouldn't be up for that fight either. Already down to 3 players here. A bomb plant would be almost a miracle at this point, trying what they can. There's still 3 players, of course, for Faze on this side. The flash is really good for Glaive here. Buys him a bit of time, but in the meantime, Nico's found his teammates. Glaive tries to bail him out a touch, but they're down to 2. Xyp9x is the walking wounded, and Glaive trying to find any angle to find a kill on. 2 bullets left is all he's got. The rifle he picks up, and Xyp9x does get a bomb plant as Guardian removes his teammate and leaves Xyp9x in the 1v4.
Well, Guardian removes him easily. It makes it look pretty casual. Nice hold from Faze, only losing Nico once again. Astralis, that plant is going to help out, but not as much as they would like. They don't have the full losing bonus yet. All that work what they did with the economy early on, it's netted them 5 rounds, but it's not being too effective. We're going to get another timeout from them. Here's the final 2 kills from Guardian as he shuts them both down. 8-5 for Faze. They are showing up in a big, big way in these grand finals. No one really knew if we could expect it, if we could hope for it. Everyone, I think, was holding their breath to see which kind of Faze came out in map 1, and they've continued it here onto Overpass.
This gets scary for Astralis as well. I mean, if you're them, you're coming to this final, you are predicted to win this one. There's no two ways to say it. You've always got to keep Faze in mind. There's no ever writing them off, but you've played phenomenally recently. You've picked up trophies with this roster. You've looked better than everyone else. You've had a hot tournament as well. Grand final then waits, and Faze decide today's the day we turn up.
Which has got to be unfortunate for Astralis, because usually Faze is the team that doesn't necessarily show up in the grand finals. They usually slip here, stumble and give it away, and Rain wants to be highly aggressive this time. It's actually, remember, he did this kind of a flank in the 4th round. He hasn't gone back to it since, and now he's found a timing, and look at all the information. He's almost won this round, but there's actually only one player initially on the defense. It's Nico playing retake with an AWP. They've got to get over here quick, but Nico's going to find the first.
Really good work claiming Dupree. The site will be taken, but for how long is the question. They're really going to try and pressure. Nico down, but he's up for the fight. And oh, I felt a third then was going to be coming through, but not to be. But Rain in the back line is going to make this horrific for Astralis. Surrounded all fronts. Device to claim Nico, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Glaive, the nade will do well towards Exist, but a 1v3, no plant to play with. Severely outgunned, severely outnumbered. Faze is striding in this game now.
Rain is an assassin, and Astralis got comfortable. They got complacent with the fact that that flank hadn't come in for such a long time, and Rain found an opportune moment to bust it out once again, to go back to it. What a punishing round, and Astralis is now just, they're reaping the, I mean, they've gone to this B bomb site so frequently, and now Faze is just, you know, if you're not going to go A ever, if you're not going to win rounds there, and you're not going to be able to find kills, Faze is going to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And again, Carrigan this time, the one to look for information. Rain's going to be playing up towards long. He's going to be the next pressure point for Astralis. Are they ready for it this time? Seems like the answer is no. Rain already being such a nuisance, such a pest, such a bother. Good damage on Magis, but a very quick shot there keeps them in good position, and the flicks are so good from Guardian! Tearing Astralis limb from limb here. And that has gotta hurt, as Glaive and Zipnix have watched their teammates being torn to pieces. The spray is desperate from Glaive, it gets the damage through, but again, they need kills here as Guardian. He's hungry for more. Unrelenting ability from this man, and Carrigan just seals the deal on the half. 10-5, Faze are leading in this one. A shocker for Astralis. They need to pull themselves back together for the second half. 10-5 on the half. Astralis looking worried, but Faze, what a moment to come alive for them. Guardian playing out of his mind so far.
So is Rain. He's been very, very aggressive, taking control. Nico's playing solid as well. It's a nightmare for Astralis. And Faze ended that first half on a 6-0 run as they dominated their way to 10 rounds. And Astralis is going to have a phenomenal half, but this is where you have to expect. This is where Device needs to take over with that AWP. We saw the impact Guardian can have, and we saw the impact that Nico can have with it, and that weapon on this map can really dictate how the offense is able to play. And you got to hope that he steps up to the plate.
Storied history between these two, of course. I just want to make that noise, but Mike would make it really loud.
Could just be one person. We could just be going insane.
Honestly, insanity might exactly be what's happening. We've got a best of 5, and apparently Faze, as said, have turned up in the finals after a tournament they have not looked phenomenal in, and this is a very different beast we're seeing. But it's CT side time for Astralis and Faze on the T side. Let's see if they continue this deadly train of ability that's been thrown towards the Dames as Nico prepares for battle, charging towards Device, who is in real trouble here. Got to be careful, he's the only man on this site.
I think that's the only thing holding Faze back is the fact that they just don't know how many players are here. They would have continued forward. Device, that might be a fight he likes, but he gives it up, and Device is going to play retake. The bomb will get planted. It's all on the flank. Kerrigan's going to be the first one. Rain tapping away at heads. Magis comes running out. Good trade so far into a 3-on-3.
Zist holding the line here. Zibnix Dupree working the back lines. Nico looking for the fight. Device did find a little bit of work there. So now Nico up on the ledge. Did he get spotted? I'm not sure if he did. I think Zibnix might have seen that. So Device lingers forward. Great positioning from him, being such a nuisance in the back lines. He needed that bullet to land, and Nico now wants to rain terror. The bomb continues to tick. The kick gets picked up by Zibnix, but Nico is such a problematic player to be up against in these situations, but Dupree's a little bit better here, and the defuse will be coming through. Window of opportunity here for Astralis to come back into this game.
You're exactly right. Zibnix had to pick up that kid. He actually got aggressive just to give himself the cover to be able to find that kid as it was dropped on the stairs. A little bit of a tense moment there, but Dupree holding the line, and that little hesitation from Faze as they gave Device a lot of respect at the A bomb site, or at least Astralis a lot of respect, not knowing if it was just the one player. That small holdback is what allowed Astralis to rotate and get those responses in so early. Plant comes in on the pistol round though for Faze, so they're going to save up for that next round. They don't want to buy here. No tactical drop of the AK-47s. No investment into this round of armor. I think it's just a P250 on Guardian. They want the AKs in the third.
The stampede of players going forward. Not particularly subtle. Damage comes out, Magisk sprays in, this is nice! 3 kills. And there it is. Shuts the book on this round, Astralis keep it clean. It's down Magisk, but they'll be all right in the end.
They did lose the M4 though. Magisk has to reinvest in that, so not the biggest issue in the world, but small one to make note of. And here comes the buy in this next round. Good control from Magisk coming through the smoke before Guardian can put him to rest, but teammate there to help out, and this buy from Faze is quite nice. 5 AK-47s. Everyone's got full head armor, and a lot of utility as well on those 4 players, so they can go pretty deep into the strat book, all things considered. Device trying to find some information early on. The nade does decent damage onto Nico. Dupree's going to be the first test, and are they going to clear this corner? It's a 50-50, and no one's cleared it just yet. He's holding his nerve. He can't get any. He's done great damage.
The information isn't bad either. That can be passed right across to the others, and now got a good look as to what was maybe being tried there by Faze, but Faze hit the brakes for a second, see if anyone's going to try and capitalize or pounce on it, but no one did. Magic's pushing forward towards the toilets. He's kind of the nice, I guess, further forward man. Device there eyeing up as well. And Faze turn their attention elsewhere. They've completely changed plan. It's over towards long now.
That's the tough part. Yeah, the information that Dupree gets is nice for about that 5-second period right after he dies, but it's in the middle of the map and there's no one in position to punish it, so it's still the opportunity for Faze to go to either map. So you can see still very much a 2-2 split on this defensive side. Zibnix and Glaive sticking over towards the B bomb site looking for information, but the fact that they don't find any doesn't tell them anything because Faze can still be slowly working their way there. Device now spots the arm and he takes off the wrist.
That's so good. That's a missed smoke as well. This will create a chance for the players rotating in towards this site, but Magisk is your big ace up the sleeve. He could be the downfall of Faze here. Can't get away though. Nico catches him. He tries to disappear back into the smoke, but it's not down, and Glaive is right next to them. Work his way. Oh, that's so good from Glaive, but Nico again, his chance now to try and be on the back lines. One man does come forward. The trades continue back and forth, but Rain against Glaive now. 10 seconds remain. Glaive's still out there. Bomb now recovered. Rain going for the plant. It's a fake. Oh, and it's Rain again. So good at doing this. Consistently outsmarting opponents.
That is incredible. Challenges Glaive to a standoff. Calls the bluff. That is really beautiful work, and it's so difficult for Glaive to make that call whether you want to push forward or not. That is so, so good, and that is a huge round to win it on as well. The third round investment in this second half. And Astralis very quickly is going to be put on notice. They're going to be put on their back foot with their own economy. Magisk is 17 and 13, Device 14 and 14, single digits for everyone else. The level we're seeing Rain at in today versus the rest of the event has just been completely different.
Timeout continues to tick. 11-7 on the board. Felt like it'd be Astralis right back at the door, but no, the answer was right there from Rain. It's not the first time he's done that this tournament either, so he is certainly calling players' bluffs. He is really in it. And now let's see what Faze have for us here. Leading the charge, Exist and Karrigan, first men forward. Zimnik's on the other side, probably the first closest port of call, and he is completely deleted. dupreeh now asked a huge question. I don't know what he can do about this one. He's being surrounded on all fronts. He's good for one, but that's just Karrigan gone. There's 4 more players. Oh, he's got another. dupreeh finally put down by Rain. Sends him to swim with the fish, and Device is there. Magisk from up above. And Exist now the 1v2.
dupreeh has done his job. He only gets 2 kills, but he buys time for the rotations to come in to pick off those just a couple players to make this easier, and Exist has a tough task, disappears into the smoke like the ninja that he is, and rotates around to play out this 1 versus 2 from a new location.
I was waiting for that, Jason. Let's see how he plays this one out now. The retake begins, smoke goes up. They don't have a kit either. He still has a flash on himself. And the Fuse starts the lineup, not quite there. Now position noted. Does Exist have what it takes? Sprays in again, Magisk denies, but the time. Do they even have the time for this one?
That's going to be close, I think, actually. Exists. Yeah, he already looks defeated, and Astralis does win the round in the end as it gets a little bit sketchy. Really well done from dupreeh. The double kill, surviving as long as possible. Not only that, but when he falls into water, he takes a very close angle, and he's making sure they have to wrap so deep to be able to find him. And that would have been the knockout punch for Faze. That's exactly what they were looking for. They pick up the pace, they get into the action very, very quickly, but they're not able to find the punish, which is tough. Barely holding on as Astralis. 11-8, a timeout comes from Faze. Even though they get the plant, they have decent money, but I think they have to hold their nerve and play it conservative here down the stretch.
Yeah, not easy for them going forward now. Gets a little bit trickier. But if they can pressure Astralis at any point, you know that money can be broken down so easy. That CT side can be such a cruel mistress when it comes to that. And Faze, plenty of talent, obviously, individually to make those deagles, pistols, whatever they decide to go for, if they do. Now this is going to get fun. I'm seeing the buy coming in. We've got 10 more seconds until this one starts back up, but it's going to be a little bit spicy.
Risking a lot for Faze. Bought down to the brink, 2 AKs. As Astralis trying to claw back in this game and equalize on maps at 1-1. Faze taking cash, and here's Guardian pushing forward. He's gotten past the utility. 3 players here initially for Astralis. Glaive close up in bathrooms, Magisk and Device out towards long. They're going to be in a double stack.
Oh my God.
This round could all hinge on this play.
Steps have heard. They know what's coming their way now. Magisk prepares. Surely the call's been made, though. He tries to take the fight in the corner, but do they get Device down as well? They trade into it. This is pretty good from Faze, and that's incredible from Exist. Glaive gets removed from the situation, and it's a 3v2 now. The bomb's still up on long, but that'll be there in any second. Karrigan's trying to secure the site itself. Smoke walls go up, and Faze might be doing just enough here.
dupree's going to have the long flank, though. He's coming all the way up the steps and wrapping around all the way towards long. He's probably got them fooled. Exist is looking for it. He's got full HP. There's the challenge, the immediate kill from dupree. That's huge, and Nico at low health. Xyp9x can't find him.
Time to run, time to get out of there. Faze, the buy was shoddy, but the way they utilized that, especially Exist, great play.
It was actually frustrating to watch, though. They had so many flashbangs out towards long. They didn't use a single one to just clear that one corner. It felt like they weren't even trying to be quiet or sneaky. They were running at that point. You could have just used one flash and made that easier, but yeah, the trades, they win the fights. Nico, obviously, 2 big kills. Kerrigan, low-key, has big impact, coming from bathrooms and is able to dink out, I forget who exactly that was. It might have been Xyp9x, dink him out to help Exist finish off that kill. 12-8 as Faze respond, not giving up an inch.
I don't think you can in these situations. It's one of these back and forth timeouts as well. It's so much to be said.
Yeah, I mean, you could, yeah, exactly. That's the pressure that these teams are feeling at this moment, because the economy is playing such a huge role down the stretch that they have to keep control of it. If you're Astralis, you cannot afford to get reset with Faze in striking distance of the second map. The fact that they're using them all here tells everyone that this is where they think this second map is going to be decided in this stretch of rounds. And if they give up too much, if they lose this struggle, not only the map might be all over, but it could even be the grand finals and a second bid for the Intel Grand Slam.
Well, it's all up in the air now, isn't it? Everything's kind of changed. This was never meant to be the way it goes down. We'd all seen the form coming into this from both sides. The timeout coming to a close. It's back underway. 12-8 now. Astralis need this one. They need to do some damage here because Faze is starting to build into it. That confidence is starting to get there. 12 rounds in pocket now for Faze as Guardian leads the way forward. Device stills his hand as he stares towards long.
Good position from dupree. He's actually going to start pushing through the short sewer tunnel. A lot of information, but if he goes too far, Exist is waiting, and that might be the most frustrating way to die. Just some player sat in T-spawn. We're going to get a quick abort. No damage has been dealt. So small technical issue, and everyone can breathe easy. The tension built, and now we just have to take a step back.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of keyboard issues there, so they just want to sort that one out. I'll take a little bit of time, but as you said, a lot of nerves coming in for these teams as well. Not sure whose keyboard it is. I think it's on the Faze side. We're having the issues. So hopefully that does get resolved nice and quick. You don't want that being an issue going forward, obviously, in the back of your minds, but still.
This is going to be so tough for Astralis to come back into. I mean, everyone, the nice thing for them is that it's not like Faze is flush with cash. They don't have the strongest situation either, so it's kind of tenuous for both teams at the moment, but I mean, we just got done talking about the pauses coming back and forth. You can tell just how much this kind of tug of war between the money means to both squads. And Astralis reps it. What is that?
That's a look.
That is a look.
I love the way the cameraman's like, is this what I want to be seeing?
You know who'd look good in that look?
Who?
Henry.
Henry looked good in anything.
Yes, he would.
Got the Astralis fans in the crowd. Got some Vox t-shirts out there. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, got some Virtus Pro ones as well. I've seen some Cloud9 jerseys wandering around. We got it all out here in Australia.
Oh, look, Chad said at the start, and I think it's very true of this audience, they do just love good CS. They also like to see an Englishman getting beaten down. Obviously, Henry getting a good battering.
Yeah, everyone.
Firm crowd favorite. Everyone loves a bit of that.
We all love that.
But credit where it's due to this crowd. They do just love good CS, and that is what we're getting here. This is probably one of the better finals we've had in quite a while. It is the ongoing joke of normally the semifinals being the better of the matchups in the grand finals, like, oh, it's a bit one-sided, but this is delivered so far.
Well, especially when you consider, I mean, we've had the conversation about Astralis so much, we can just rehash it real quick as the king of the crowd is in there. But I mean, if you could even go back to Marseille, the dominance that Astralis showed winning that event just a couple of short weeks ago. And then coming into this, the dominance they showed in group stage, and not just that, the weaknesses on the other teams as well has been kind of the highlight of it. It's like, this is why Astralis is going to go on this tear. You know, we're all talking about having the conversation, can Astralis just win 4 Grand Slam events in a row? And Faze has stepped up in a huge way in this Grand Finals. All of these players reaching a different level than what we saw Everything is not been solved. The music got us all excited.
All right, as it continues, let's have a little chat, Jason. How you liking Australia?
I'm loving Australia, Lauren.
Yeah?
You can, yeah. We were here last year. I was super pumped to come back. Got another week off after this, so we're going to stick around.
Oh yeah, you're going for a nice like little week holiday with the boys.
Yes, all the boys. Gonna play some Kenny Loggins on the beach. That feels appropriate.
Is it gonna be like the Top Gun moment? You know, everyone's playing that volleyball.
Jean shorts and volleyball.
I do love a pair of jorts, Jason. Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's a good point. Nico even wears them.
He does. Yeah. We saw that. Maybe that was a key to his power. Or maybe they were holding him back. Who knows? I think we'll have to discuss that.
One or the other.
Yeah, we are still working on the keyboard issue. If you are just tuning in, or if you're just wandering in the crowd, that is being resolved as much as we can. But there is always a bit of fun with this audience, and the fact that we can talk to them if we need to. Right now we're good. Don't worry. Just keep watching. Keep being serious. My tea's just arrived, so life's going very well.
It is going very well.
But the one thing I do like is the fact that, you know... Oh, you kind of wait. Oh, we've got some beautiful faces in the audience. That's attractive. I'm liking that. And yeah, no, it's always the joy of this audience is you can have a bit of fun with them, you know.
Yeah, you can have a little bit of fun. They have a lot of fun on their own. I don't really think we need to encourage that too much.
They're a little bit hungover today, so we've got to be a little bit quiet.
Yesterday was a bit weird. Yeah, turn the volume down.
Yeah, voices at an all-time low. Yeah, just a nice quiet one.
There's only one real way to solve a hangover, Lauren.
How'd you do that?
Never stopping.
Oh.
That's gorgeous.
Can you do one eyebrow and then the other? Just baiting chat. And the audience. Well, there is the old, we could get the phone lights out, we could do that one. You know, that's a bit of a Katowice special. I don't know, do you reckon they can do it?
I think they could.
All right, guys, here's a challenge. Bit of an interactive one. We've got the clap. Very nice. Let's get a little louder, come on, folks. The louder it goes, the faster the pause happens. That's what I'm talking about. That scares the living shit out of me, folks, just so you know. Terrifying, the Stampede.
Well, we do have a quick feature we can actually bring up. Astralis did something trying to describe a word. I think it's like a whole Pictionary type thing. So we're going to send it over to that one.
Okay, so it's somebody we played against a lot this last half year.
Okay.
In tournaments, different kind of tournaments. It's an American team.
It's probably Liquid.
Yes. Okay. So when you kill 5 men on the server.
Ace.
Yeah, an ace. Some things that run around on Inferno, especially.
Chickens?
Yes.
Ooh.
We have device, and he does this a lot for us, or at least sometimes.
Sniper?
No.
Hopping?
No. It's like you can have it on your shoulder, like something you
carrying.
Yeah,
backpack. Carry. Okay.
And the last thing, it's I'm not really sure if this is what I think it is, but it's a guard, an old guard.
Zeus.
No.
Hades.
No. It's with the lightning god.
That is Zeus, right?
No.
Poseidon. No, that's the god. Lightning god.
And he has a hammer.
Oh, Thor.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? So if I say pimp, wearing glasses, you know, Wingardium Leviosa, and yeah, exactly. All right, so really bad players in CS:GO, like they run around like but they run around like really bad players, and like they act like machines. They're really bad.
Bots?
Yeah, exactly. So the most common used weapon as a terrorist, B31, I think. Yeah. No, B41, so it's a rifle. The most common used. Yeah, exactly.
B42.
Yeah. If I say Vapiano, you say.
Bolognese?
Almost, but
pizza.
No. What's in Bolognese? What type
Pasta?
of? Yeah, exactly. And what do you have on your hand?
A watch.
Yeah.
Lovely work. Good game of heads up there.
They've done it. I mean, that just shows you the communication they've got with each other. That was a really nice display.
Just so you guys know, things are readying up. It looks like the issue has been resolved, so Don't worry, folks, no more interaction. You can go back to just having a drink. It's all good. Apologies, you know. But it does seem as though things are starting to warm up. I think it was just Exist keyboard. He's trying to work that out. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But it does look like we are back underway in game, so we can stop staring at their beautiful faces and get this one started up. Of course, Faze up on the T side, Astralis on the CT side. This is the second map of the grand finals, of course, here at the Intel Extreme Masters out in Sydney, and already damage coming through.
Yeah, Kerrigan's put back. That one hurts. The nade stack. Guardian swings out wide to try to use the cover of the grenade. It's not going to work. An important first kill for Astralis. They've only got 2 rifles, and already one has had impact. Faze is very spread across the map. Kerrigan and Rain essentially, at this moment, can't do anything. It's Nico and Exist who are the only people poised to get control, poised to attack. Exist just going to patiently wait, looking for information, looking for any pushes, for any kind of a punish that he can have. 4 on 5, and Astralis still being proactive across the map. Flashbangs allowed Dupree to peek in towards those short sewers and see nothing. Just past the 1 minute mark as Faze takes control of stairs.
Slow and steady here thus far for Faze after that first loss, of course. Guardian. Now, on the other side, we do still see just those pistols. We do have the rifle, of course, on Dupree, but outside of that, Scout for Device working with a lot less than they'd ideally want. Magisk probably the furthest forward. Trying to find an angle to play with, but timing is everything. Exist. Hey, new keyboards feeling real nice, but Device still shows him how it's done. That Scout does damage. And you can see the support coming in from Glaive. The CZ still good as ever. The 3v2 makes it very tricky now, as every angle could contain a threat, and Dupree is one of them. The 1v3 needed from the god himself, Nico, known for brilliance, and he needs to call upon it right here, right now. Device cowers in the corner, the shot goes off. Oh, he's got it! And now the 1v1. Dupree closing in, he's got the rifle as well, but Nico, you know what he can do. And he looks, he waits. Dupree edges forward, and Nico's a god in these situations, and he's just shown you as to why.
Oh, Astralis normally so good in those scenarios, and Nico punishes him, finds his 3 1v1s. Gets a little fortunate in this duel with Device. He knows he's got to hunt him down, but not expecting him to be in the deep angle, a missed shot. But that is immediate, that is first bullet accuracy. And from there holds his nerve. What a tough scenario to be in, almost, you could even call it a 1 versus 4 with the clock ticking down as well. 13-8, and that is a huge punish. Right before that break, don't forget, the important factor of this game was the jockeying of the economy between the two teams. All the timeouts that were taken to give Astralis that one chance of responding, and they had it within their grasp.
Always the threat when you play against the likes of Faze. Always able to go to those depths, but not many others can. Now the economy shattered for Astralis in this round, of course. P250's up, but that's about your lot. Oh, Dupree's hoping for anything he can. And Kerrigan says no to it. The MAC-10 through the wall, pretty much. A little through the window. Close, but no cigar. Guardian now, edging a little closer as well. Glaive's head gets removed. And this is systematic destruction so far.
Astralis just has to save as much money as humanly possible. They don't really have a whole lot of tools. They didn't come in with a whole lot of tools to do damage to Faze. They've got to look towards that next gun round, but they won't have a whole lot of opportunities after that. Astralis going to start getting a decent read, although Rain ends Device trying to pinch down, trying to find that, and Zipnix is the only one left at the B bomb site with just the USP. Same with Magisk, so this will be that 14th. That was quick. Guardian building up some bonus money. Faze starting to look really good, really clean, and I know there was a big conversation. The analysts thinking, what, 3-0 for Astralis?
Yeah.
3-1 for Astralis. Well, Faze is looking like they might set themselves up to get that 3-0 run.
Gets a little worrying at this point, doesn't it? Next map in the series starts to be considered. And that would be Train.
Oh, I love that guy.
Why did they cut away? It's all I want to see. Just teasing me constantly.
One of the greatest actors of our generation.
He is phenomenal, isn't he? A peak of what men can
Kerrigan
be. Kerrigan's got knifed?
No, that is
Wait,
a glitch.
It's a spec,
That's
spec bug. Okay.
Got it.
So, there we go. So the next map, bearing in mind, that would be Train. in this series, and that was the one that you're going to look at Faze being the one to pick up. They love that map to play with, but right now we are into this, so we can talk about that later as a quick hit comes down. It looks like Astralis want to get aggressive, but Exist meets fire with literal fire.
I think he was spamming as well, and actually Dupree trying to fall back into the flames, and just enough damage was done to finish him off. That is a disaster. Up on Device, still hasn't gotten involved. It's over deep into the A bomb site, running out of nades as well for the Astralis side. Under a lot of pressure, and Faze with that kill so early on, and this is where they get dangerous, when they have that man advantage. With so much time left on the clock, when you get them into these scenarios where they can win by trades, where they can be in open spaces and find some map to work with. It's Magisk right now just holding the tide at bay, and there's the kill. No one to trade for Guardian. Kerrigan and Rain not coming out. There's the swing, and Kerrigan needs to complete it, but he can't. Magisk and Xyp9x chime in. I think Xyp9x even spamming. That is really well done.
How have they recovered this? You've got NiKo and Exist. NiKo first step in the right direction. Still Molotov, still smokes, but your next task is Device and Xyp9x. Not an easy one. Device has the angle. Eyes trained on this. Exist trying to negate that. Play a bit of peekaboo, but he's having none of those games. And now NiKo, you've already done a 1v3. This is a little bit too far, too hard. Too hot to handle. Astralis keeping themselves building.
I swear, man, every time Astralis needs a round, it seems like Magisk is the one delivering these double kills. He has been such a big help for this team. After that pickup, it's worked out phenomenally for the Danes. And 9-14, they're going to need more of him. They're going to need more of that impact. One more buy to burn through for Astralis as they get started on closing the gap. Device has the op still, but so does Guardian. And this is Grand Finals Guardian. He's been spectacular. Somehow gets past Device's crosshairs. But Device's aggression with the op is allowing 4 players to stack over towards the B bomb site, and look at this play. Dupree and Magisk taking control, getting a lot of information, but they stop just short of running into Exist.
Round we go, and the call's gonna be made. You know, Device, get ready. We've seen no one either be an underpass, coming your way. They have cheated over Xyp9x and Glaive. They're both there now. Bit of a boost. Kind of the early warning system. The radar would go towards B if one of them spots another, but still not moving either. He's all the way back, expecting a very late flank here.
Just keep an eye, you know, his job is just to make sure that they can fall back towards that B bomb site if they need, and just making sure there's no kind of aggression to be able to punish any of it, so deny information if anyone from Astralis had kept moving forward. Guardian's going to be challenged here. Device far back, baiting for Glaive around the corner. A deep smoke will isolate Glaive, but there's no AK-47 player to turn this corner, and actually Glaive's just going to push up. He's going to catch him with a nade in his hand. Rain is up next, but the flashbang helps out. That might have even been Guardian's flashbang that he had cocked that blinds him. And Glaive's going to be able to get away. Rain trying to punish, trying to get through, but I don't think he can do it. And Device now, with 1 kill, has given his team a 4-on-3 advantage.
This is great so far. I'd be surprised if Faze can get much further. The rotations are good, the flashes are lined up. They're still going to try and get this one on the board. Xyp9x watching the cross, going to make the strike towards Rain as only Exist slips through towards the bombs. He actually, no, gets denied. Good work from Xyp9x there, sprays in, hoping for that. And NiKo does get the AWP, but does he get to keep control of it? Dupree, not quite able to find him. So for now, NiKo lives to fight another day. The AWP will be retained, put a round on the board for Astralis. A desperately needed one as well.
Yeah, they really did. No bonus money, no losing money for NiKo, who has that AWP, but it's the only weapon they can really bring forward. Everyone else hovering right around 2,000 or just below it. And if you're FaZe, you've got to start playing conservative. You can't really buy this round either. Saving up as your losing bonus builds up. It's only at 2 right now.
That's a horrific bit of a joke on the old tweet there.
I didn't see that one. What was it?
If you're allergic, stay away from the stream because this game is nutty. I mean, why did you laugh? You've encouraged this now.
I like those jokes.
Oh dear. We call you Creamy Daddy for other reasons, all right? Stop laughing at the dad jokes. Anyway, NiKo is going to be your danger man this round if there's going to be anyone. Everyone else is on pure Glocks alone.
Yeah.
So send him in.
You essentially throw the Glocks into the open to help find out, and actually Rain almost just straight up finds a kill. NiKo's going to get involved, but right, you want the op. You want the Glocks to find you where players are in the op to be able to punish and trade those frags off. Obviously not happening with that first engagement as Magisk gets all the way back to the A bomb site. Nico not being too aggressive with this, so not finding any openings, a desperate scenario. But at this point, even just taking away guns, forcing the rebuys is huge.
Absolutely. Smallest of margins can make huge impact, especially in this game between these two giants. This is the final we've been dreaming of. This is the final you don't get often. Now Nico slowly working his way up again. Just looking to be that danger man, looking to find these hits. Ximnix does find Carrigan. Nico